We are live. Hello, Parzival.
Belgarath, and good evening.
You all right?
Yeah, all good. Been a busy week.
How so?
Taking a lot more job responsibility at work.
That's very grown up of you, like that.
Yeah. Right. Shall we start this off by addressing the comment we received on our last podcast?
What by Alan?
Yeah, about the
Good old Alan.
flat.
Hey, it could be flat.
Could be, but
where's your proof it's not flat? Where's your proof? Where's your proof it's not flat? Have you been there? Where's your proof? Go on.
I have no obviously hard evidence, as you know, the flat earthers have any hard evidence. But there again, there are flat earthers all around the globe.
I do love that.
So,
I swear that is like a group name as well for one of them, brother, on Facebook.
Yeah, it's flat earthers from all around the globe.
Unless you want to define globe as something else. People like defining words that mean one thing and change it to another, surely.
Everyone does it though.
Yeah, that's true enough.
But yeah, I think we should start off by addressing that, if you want.
Yeah, but there are some weird things when it comes to flat Earth, though. Like, some people honestly believe, and it had me fooled for a little bit, like the original recordings of the moon landing ain't real, simple by the fact because of Van Allen radiation belt. Like, back in like the early 70s and 80s and 90s, whatever, yeah, if you went through an airport, yeah, with the old VHS cam recorders, you go through like the metal detectors, and the radiation, yeah, would clear the VHS tape of it. So how can they go through all that and come back with the original recording and it not be messed up?
Oh, it just goes back then to what I brought up on the previous episode of the podcast.
How so?
About that guy who admitted that he recorded the moon landing and admitted on his deathbed that it was false.
Which one was that? Was that like what was his name? Stan Kubrick or something?
I think it was that, yeah.
Yeah, that's the guy who made that film, you know, that He Is Johnny. He's just a tit though.
It could be true then, couldn't it? That's it. Stanley Kubrick said on his deathbed that he was hired by the government to film a fake moon landing. But then again, a lot of people on their deathbeds
come out with weird stuff.
Come out with strange stuff, yeah.
Yeah, you would though. A lot of people who claim to be atheists on their deathbed start repenting, don't they? Because they're scared, isn't it? All humans are near enough scared on their deathbed.
But in answer to your, well, not an answer, you didn't ask the question there, Mr. Lowe. You simply stated what you thought as a fact.
That's his opinion, though. Leave him alone.
And like I said before, everyone's entitled to their opinion. It's not our fault. He's wrong.
That's your opinion, bro.
Here is a natural fact.
Go on.
Nobody in human history
has
ever thought the world was flat.
No one.
The Greeks measured the radius of the Earth.
Yeah, didn't they do that by like some smart guy? He hired some person to walk in like a straight line south with a little stick to measure the shadow when like the sun's at its highest.
Right. So the Greeks measured the radius of the Earth.
Yeah.
So why could anybody conceive of a reason why anybody would think the Earth is flat? There's interesting bits in physics that tell you that you live on a spinning planet, and one of them is called the Coriolis force.
Oh, yeah.
Which is the force that's responsible for causing storm systems to rotate on the planet. So when you see those beautiful pictures of storms spinning around and rotating, the reason for that is that we live on a spinning planet. So thinking the Earth is flat is probably the most nonsensical suggestion that a thinking human being could possibly make. It is drivel. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Because if you believe the Earth is flat, then you must also believe that we're all live in the eye of a giant called Macumbe or whatever his name was, or we live on a fucking turtle's back.
I think what people do like to think if the Earth is flat is that they belong to something special, innit? That the average person doesn't believe in. Makes them feel special. Which I think all humans are guilty of doing, though.
Or the simple fact that audience just like to jump on the bandwagon of somebody else. So they like to stand out and they'll go, ooh, yeah.
Well, you tell me at no point in your life, I wouldn't say you fell for it, but you were sort of intrigued in the flat Earth theory. Never, not even once. Curious about it. But like at one point, someone goes, like they just state something about it, and you go, hold on, I can't pick a minute. This is a bit weird, is it not?
No, not at all. Not at all.
How so?
because then you must also believe that if you sail far enough, you'll fall off the edge of the world.
Yeah, but imagine living back then when you was on like old wooden boats and the wind was the only thing that propelled you, and you went off into the Atlantic and you believed everything east of the Atlantic, was unknown. That was a flat earth. Imagine being on there the first time and your captain's telling you we're going straight east. You'd be like, "You off your rocker, mate?" You would be shitting it. And next thing you know, you end up in the Caribbean islands with Columbus, and you're like, "What's going on here?"
Because the earth is round.
Yeah, just that. Yeah.
And that's as simple as that.
The one thing that did get me with the flat earth when I was researching it when I was younger is, the NATO symbol.
Oh yeah.
It's all that. It's the whole planet, but with a ring round it, like as if you get the globe and you flatten it. And that's the reason why. There's only one country on this planet that has a military base on the South Pole, and that's the Americans. And they don't let anyone over there, only for scientific research. How much science could you learn down there if it's just a wasteland? Utter wasteland.
We all know the Americans like to do some strange things.
Oh yeah. Oh, as Mark pointed out, he did. Stanley Kubrick.
Yep.
He did The Shining. That's where here's Johnny.
Oh, The Shining.
Yeah, bro. He's a perfectionist, wasn't
Yeah, The Shining was a good movie.
he? Yeah.
Very good movie. It was also mentioned in one of my favourite movies of all time.
What's that?
Ready Player One.
Oh, okay.
That's where I get my name from.
And what about this? Mark makes another good point. What about both flat and round Earths exist, as did the inner Earth, like a hollow Earth?
Mark, this is a late evening Sunday show. We're not ready for that mind-blowing information just yet.
Why? But you fully accept the lizards, the underlings, the emperors who control the royal family. Yeah, where would they come from?
They're 100%. There's enough evidence out there. Well,
Oh.
I say evidence, like
Yeah.
you like to say it's edited and photoshopped, but also after the last podcast, you did proudly disclose to me you purposely attacked me for the first 30 minutes just to go against me.
Thank you, manager.
So,
No, I will admit that. Only because you spent the last 4 days adamant that everything you showed me on TikTok was a damn right fact.
but it weren't just from TikTok. I was seeing these things and researching them myself. I've never taken much, and I can admit this, as I can admit to you, admit to my dad. How many times have I said my dad's a conspiracy nut?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
I'm like, it's just another one of your theories. But as I get older,
Yeah.
it's all coming to light.
You should question everything. Straight up
Agreed,
question.
everything should be questioned. No one should ever sit back and take anything. Sorry, I had a curry for dinner last night.
The old Ruby Murray.
But yeah. So, but also on the last podcast, you said you shouldn't question everything.
What do you mean?
You said you shouldn't question everything. That you shouldn't openly voice your opinions. Not everyone should openly voice their opinions.
Well, I think no, but I mean, you can't listen to every opinion because nothing would get done, would it? Because you'd be there for a week on end on one topic when you've got to try and listen to every human's opinion on it.
But does that mean not every human being has the right to voice their opinion?
No, I think some people need to learn when to voice their opinion or not. Just social etiquette, isn't it?
Of course, there's a time and a place. But
then maybe that's down to my own arrogance of I'm right, you're wrong.
I'm big, you're small.
Yeah, which I think all humans are good. Which is the fact.
You wish.
I don't think YouTube guidelines will let us whip it out.
But also, it's been another stressful week because it's my first time attempting to give up smoking.
Did that last?
And how long I come and saw you today?
And whose fault was that?
Yours.
How so?
Kept blowing it in your face.
Yeah, you laughed in my face when I said I want to give up. Literally, I have that image is like engraved in my like.
Oh, like you're traumatized.
I am.
Traumatized that your friend laughed in your face because you said you was giving up smoking.
Not even just laughing; it's just a full-on belly laugh. Like, that's just insulting.
You admitted to me yourself when you attempted to give up 2 weeks ago. It lasted a day.
It did last a day, and I was getting angry at myself. That's the real problem with addiction, isn't it? Like, the government truly cared about us, they would ban it, would they not?
Now who's talking about the government?
Well, they should. That's what a government should do, isn't it? A true government should be there for the people. That's
So
why it's
there-
all elected. That's why it's democracy.
So there again, it says they do anything for the money.
Yeah, that's true.
Hence
But don't
child trafficking.
but don't we all do anything for money?
To a certain extent. But
You know what I mean? You want that new car? You want that new tracksuit? You know, you got paying money for it.
I would go child trafficking to get it, though.
Unless you're desperate enough.
No,
No?
no, I know right from wrong. Because I was brought up in a society that taught me right from wrong.
It's that same society where that does happen, though. Or is it just down from your mum and dad teaching you that right and wrong? Decent human beings who actually tell you what is right and wrong. That's not, you know what I mean? And they all grew up in that same society that do all that stuff as well. Or is that you also, as a human being, growing up, you realise what is right and wrong? Like how you said, if some person was raised in this little village in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, they got raised, it's okay to rape certain like, kids, we shouldn't punish them. It's like, no, you.
We shouldn't punish them.
Oh, we should teach them. We should teach them what's right and wrong.
Teach people from right from wrong.
No, bro. There's certain things in life you just go, nah, that's wrong.
Yeah, but if you're
it's the same as like laughing at someone for their like their skin colours. Like some jokes can be funny, but just pure laughing at someone because they've got the wrong skin colour is the most retarded thing going because like they had no help in that. Literally, they were born like that. It's not their fault, is it? It's no one's fault. It's just a colour. But then the same argument we said for their parents, they couldn't help being born like that. It's just nothing. It's just silly. Most of the things.
Racism is wrong. Racism is very wrong.
It is wrong.
And it's
like straight up racism is the most bullshit as well.
In this day and age.
It's a lot worse though. I think now racism now is like it's how the only way I can see is like the typical cliche American like school girls, the pure bitchiness of it. It's the sly racism. That's disguised as pure racism.
It's not even just sly racism anymore. People are just damn outright being racist because
what? No, but it's not people being lynched in the streets like they did back in the 1950s.
No, but instead,
like, imagine living that time, bro. Man, that'd be well disgusting.
But instead, now over in America, you've just got people getting shot for being the wrong skin color, getting arrested for being the wrong skin color.
Yeah, you can't dispute that. But when you say it like that, all I can also think as a counter is, are you telling me that then all police officers within America, they're trained or they're all hired complete racists who go out their way to shoot any non-white person they see?
Well, they don't.
That's how it feels like.
They're not really doing themselves any justice by keep doing it. That's what it makes it seem like, that it's just pure racist people being hired.
Or is it could be the only time we hear about a police shooting in America is when it is a white cop versus a black cop?
Could be that.
Because let's be honest, most medias nowadays have their own bloody agendas.
Yeah.
I'm not saying police in America aren't racist, because let's be honest, some of them actually are fucking straight up racist. But the media's outlets that we have now got their own agendas. They all support their own political parties that they want to progress.
It's like when we done the thing the other day.
What do you mean?
Every single thing will tell you something different.
Yeah, depending on the algorithms, isn't it?
The algorithms, yeah.
Yeah.
Or like I see a newspaper clipping before. In one area, it's one thing.
And who's that?
I bought the exact same newspaper.
Yeah.
From another area.
Yeah.
And the story was completely different.
Yeah.
The story was completely different.
And that's Google. That's Google. And Apple, bruv, what are they really guilty of? Manipulating their clients, bruv. And that's another thing we need to stop. We need to learn to stop saying bruv so much.
No,
we sound like actual riffraff.
Not we, you.
What? That's insulting.
I don't think I've said bruv at all this whole time we've started.
That's only been 40 minutes.
Yeah, and I haven't said bruv once apart from the twice I've just
You just said, yeah.
bruv too much.
Yeah, I do say it too much. I'm guilty of that.
Guilty of trying to be
what? A chav?
Yeah.
Once a chav, always a chav.
Yeah. You can take the chav out of South Foxy, you can't ever take the South Foxy out of the chav.
And why would one want to be from South Foxy?
Sorry, who's actually from South Foxy?
Well, 50% of me.
So 50%.
My other 50% comes from Devon.
I don't know which one's worse. Inbred or chav?
A farmer or a Hasbro teen? You know what I mean?
Now you're just being I don't know what the word is.
Discriminating.
Now Yeah, now you just be discriminating.
Why? You telling me most of the youth of South Oxley have not spent most of their youth hanging around the streets, scaring old people, thinking they're hard?
I refuse to comment.
Oh yeah.
No, I refuse to comment.
Oh yeah. Well, we're guilty of it.
So what are you talking about?
No.
Nope.
Teenagers should be locked up. Revision.
Sent to padded cells.
We've got to learn, bro. We've got to get better than the Chinese.
Not be tricked to treat holidays to Scotland.
Yeah, that would terrify me if I was a kid.
And that goes out to my brother who I love so dearly if you're listening to this.
Your brother is sick. I love Kai.
Yeah, he is very funny.
Absolutely adore him.
He is actually very funny. But I do think it's a bit out of order, Mark. How you are tricking him with a trip to Scotland when really you're going to shove him in a padded cell.
The new Mike Myers. The English Mike Myers. I like
A
that.
cross between Mike Myers and Harry Styles.
So he'll get all the girls and all the men. He'll love-
Oh no, I've lost my,
Nah, he's one of those people in my life that I know of that even just being around him is
bring you happiness.
yeah, it's pure happiness.
Yeah,
Even if he's rinsing you like he does with me most of the time, just makes me laugh.
I can't go around him that much.
Why? Because the truth hurts,
No,
does it?
Because I purposely go out of my way sometimes to wind him up. And
Yeah, yeah. But you're a big brother. I feel like that's how big brothers should be, especially the eldest.
No, but I do take it to a certain extent because obviously he finds it hard sometimes to deal with his issues.
Well, then you need to learn your boundaries a bit, then, don't you?
Yeah, but like you said, I'm his big brother. I don't really need no boundaries.
But you're also a grown-ass man.
Yeah,
That's true.
man, but not grown up.
Yeah, I still feel like I'm like 16 at least.
But like Michael Jackson said, I never want to get older and die. So
Yeah, but who really does, though?
yeah, but I wouldn't want to live forever.
I would love it. Absolutely love it.
Nah,
What do you mean, nah?
I couldn't go. So you'd be every 50 years, you'd be losing 50 to 100 years, you'd be losing everyone you ever loved, and then starting again, then starting again, starting again. It'd just be depressing.
That makes you stronger, though.
Nah,
Of course it would.
it'd be so depressing.
But imagine things you'd be able to see, though. Like Andromeda. In 5 billion years from now, when the Andromeda galaxy collides with the Milky Way. A birth of a new galaxy. That's amazing.
Imagine going to a doctor's appointment saying that you're and getting told, yeah, but by the way, you're never going to be able to die. You're going to live forever. At first, you'd be like, oh my god, really? No way. So I could do whatever I want and I won't die.
Yeah, but doesn't mean you could do whatever you want and not face the punishment of it. Surely you can still be overpowered and then be confined into a small room forever. You know what I mean? And imagine being like a mass killer where, you know, in America, where you get sentenced for like 10 life sentences. Imagine actually having to go through all that. It's 1,000 years near nothing, isn't it? Shouldn't it be?
10, like, no, because the life sentence now actually ain't a life sentence.
Oh, yeah.
25 years with a half a good behaviour and then minimum of 6 years.
Yeah, but sometimes they can set no...
parole.
Yeah,
Parole
sure.
good behaviour is completely different. Though. Parole's like a thing you can apply for like after a certain time. Good behaviour is like I'm sure it's a mandatory thing.
Okay.
I'm sure that's.
It all depends on what country and all that
No,
shit.
I think that's in the court of laws anyway. Right, so you could be sentenced, say, 12 years, eligible to apply for parole, or not eligible to apply for parole till like 5 years of that are done. But then I think on good behaviour, you get recognised as a model prisoner.
Yeah, but I don't understand that. Because, obviously, I've spoken to a couple of people who've been in prison and all that. And I don't understand how you don't lash out to other prisoners.
I've spoken to people who've been in prison who said they prefer it in prison than out here.
Yeah, but that's what it makes me sad because they've been institutionalised, isn't it? Because they're used to getting their 3 meals a day at certain times.
Yeah.
And some people like that structure. Well, join the military then.
I've spoken to people who said it's much better inside than it is out here.
Yeah, because it's all confined,
they
isn't
don't
it?
have to go around looking for money to get their next meal. They don't have to go around committing crimes again to get their next meal.
Yeah, no, that is sad.
Or a bed to sleep in. Because you now have fucking prisons, man. They've got PlayStations in them. Not
Well,
just
yeah,
on PlayStation 2, like the top of the range PlayStation 5.
I swear it's a human right now that people should be allowed internet. Not only so you're allowed free access to water, but internet is a requirement, which I sort of actually do agree because the internet is so changing.
But what
It's
I
one of the
don't-
greatest inventions ever.
What I don't understand is why you get like your mobile phone and stuff taken off you in prison.
Because it's
If you're
contraband.
but if you're just going to get given a PlayStation 5 anyway to play over your fucking sentence.
But surely they can revoke when that PlayStation can have access to internet or not.
I
Surely.
don't think it has access to internet.
Well, then how? So it doesn't matter if they have it because they can't message people like they can on a phone.
Yeah, but who cares, man?
Well-
if you're going to let someone sit there, if they've gone out and committed a crime and play a PlayStation 5, something that I or you or fucking
Yeah.
your partner couldn't even get their hands on, and someone who's gone out and committed a crime of robbing a PS5 is going to get the privilege of playing that for the next 9 to 10 years.
Or is it when you don't pay your TV license, and so you go to prison and you can watch the TV without paying the TV license, so you can still watch the BBC?
And not even have to pay for your fucking
TV
Sky
license.
Sports and stuff. You get it all in there.
It's a bit silly. That just comes down to pandering. But I think there should be other things when it comes to prisons, though. Like there should be, I don't know. It's like we used to have the penal legions, didn't it? As much as they are messed up,
The what, sorry?
penal legions. We used to gather prisoners and we send them somewhere so they can do loads of forced labor.
Oh, you
Like
might
actual
see 'em
force,
on the side of the
yeah.
road, litter pickering,
Making
graffiti
train lines and
watching
stuff.
children, like they're
Yeah.
doing whilst that's the reason they're in prison. So let's put these people out on the streets.
But
to clean up
there should be
crime.
something like that, but not forced. It should be open. It's a weird one, isn't it? I think whatever humans do, it's always going to be a weird one. It's always questionable. Whether it's, yeah, should we do that? Should we do that? But we can agree, paedophiles should just be in their own prison whatsoever. Actual hard evidence prove.
But from what you said the other day, you said all paedophiles should be put down.
Yeah, I
So
could agree
why
again.
should they now be put into a prison?
Because a lot of the people don't agree with them being killed, does it? And I could sort of agree with them on that. Because who's better? Who's to decide who can die or not? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We're at the end of the day, we're not God, are we?
Whoever that person who decides this person is guilty to death
Yeah.
or sentenced to death, are they technically a murderer then also?
Mark made a good point. At least people in prison know they are in prison.
But do they, with the fucking privileges they get?
Hmm.
In some of the prisons now, the privileges they get, do they know they're in prison? Like there's prisons you can fucking leave on the weekend.
Yeah, but that's a good thing, though, isn't it? Because that's where you slowly get people to get back into society and you build up trust.
But then how?
Bro, we went to a school like that. We had level 1 and level 2. In level 2, yeah, you could leave the classroom without everyone else, so you can go to the next one because we had to be escorted from room to room.
Oh yeah, and then they.
But if you was level 2, innit? If you gain the trust, you're level 2.
Level 3. Oh, on break time, you want to go to the shop? You can.
Even at level 3, you had a chance to go back to mainstream schools. And did any level 3 person did it? No,
I didn't.
because they would know. Because they know they weren't having that easy.
I did not know that. They with level 3.
That's what I always got told. It was probably another empty promise some adult told a child. Because let's be honest, yeah, adults love doing that to children.
We're all guilty of it though.
Yeah, I suppose. No, yeah, you make a
We're
good
all
point.
guilty of it, like them silly little lies we get told. Oh, if you pull that face, it'll get stuck like that when the wind blows.
Yeah, but I think there is. You could tell.
Oh, don't sit too close to the TV. Your eyes will turn into squares.
But some things I think is a rite of passage. Because when our parents told us that about sitting too close to a TV, is the same thing that their parents told them. So it's a bit of shared history, bro. That's what I like. Some things like that.
Yeah.
Those are the same words your grandparents have said to your parents.
And
That's living. That's passing on.
And they're the exact same things I've said to my child.
No, you haven't.
have
I've
done
seen
that.
your child. TV nowadays is like hallucinogenics for them.
Yeah,
They
there's
literally like
far too many like colours and things to draw their mind in. Like my mum.
brainwashing.
Yeah, my mum thinks Minecraft is like brainwashing.
How so?
I can't remember what she said. Maybe my dad might put a comment in
Or just how great it is.
to explain it. No, there was something behind it. Like I remember like Kai weren't allowed to play it for a while because I can't actually remember. So maybe my dad would be kind enough to put a comment in there of why my mum said it was. And actually, both of them, I'm sure, said Minecraft was brainwashing.
Yeah, but just to say back in the day when D&D came about, especially in America, they thought it was just pure witchcraft. Same as Harry Potter. There's some schools banned it because it is pure witchcraft.
Yeah, I've seen the one about Dungeons and Dragons. I've seen that. Not about Harry Potter though.
Yeah.
What's wrong with Harry Potter?
Because it's encouraging witchcraft, isn't it? And when you're a devout Christian, you don't want to be associated with witchcraft.
But there's also games now, isn't there, as well, where you can live a second life.
Yeah, it's when modern work.
Pretend to be someone different. Like it's actually called Second Life. It is actually called Second Life.
I don't know about that. Wait, same as when Modern Warfare came out. The second mission, when you're like a sleeper agent within like a Russian mafia gang, and you end up going killing everyone in an airport. When that first came out, everyone loved it, but parents petitioned that there should be an option where underage kids skip it, because you're literally just killing hundreds of innocent people. Okay.
And then correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure there then also become an option of turning off the gore to that bit where you could play it, but not as much blood.
Well, you do have to admit, I reckon more kids now play games that are rated for 18 and over than actual adults who play that game. Whenever I play GTA, unless I'm playing with friends who are my own age group, it's all little kids.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
I remember playing on PlayStation. There used to be this thing, like you got your Xbox avatars.
Yep.
There used to be this one on PlayStation. It was like PlayStation Home.
Okay.
So you create an avatar, and within the PlayStation, there was a whole game built into the PlayStation. Like you could go into this PlayStation Home as your avatar. You could buy skins to it, make it look however you want. So it was like that Ready Player One, really, but not virtual reality.
Right. Okay, I'm with you.
And within that, you could go to the casino with people. You could go fishing with people, walk down beaches with people, play basketball with people, just sit in houses with people, watching movies.
So like Habbo Hotel.
Yeah, kind of like that, but
and Penguin, whatever it was. Club Penguin.
I remember playing that with someone, and then they said, "Oh, do you want to play Minecraft?" So I said, "Yeah." Okay, cool. Played Minecraft, come on headset, and I heard the voice play, and I was like,
"Was it a 40-year-old man?"
No, it was like a fucking 7-year-old girl.
Oh yeah. That scares me.
I was like, yeah, and I quickly come off the headset and I messaged her. I was like, "How old are you?" And they was like 7. I was like, "I can't play with you." I was like, "No way." I was like, "I cannot play with you."
But then, does that make you sad that an adult who's fully aware of themselves, who knows that they're not a paedophile, can harmlessly play with a 7-year-old online? There should be no.
You never know who you're playing with on the other side.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's like that RuneScape we played.
Yeah.
You don't know who's on the other side of that fucking chat.
Yeah, I suppose.
You have no clue.
Yeah, still be friendly though.
It can be perceived in the wrong way. Imagine a parent come across that. And it's like,
yeah,
who's this person messaging you, being friendly?
Yeah, but it depends on context, surely. If you're being inappropriate, like, "Oh, what you wearing?" Yeah, then I fully understand where parents come from. You know what I mean?
You know what some parents are like in this day and age? Your door's getting knocked down. I heard you've been playing games with young children.
Yeah.
Boom.
That is sad times we live in, though. Surely you should be able to play with younger kids unless you yourself feel uncomfortable playing with younger kids, because you don't want that perception of you being a little kiddie fiddler.
If I ever, like, when I'm playing FIFA and stuff.
Yeah.
And afterwards you always give a banter message.
Oh yeah. I've been banned a couple of times.
I'm only like 11, and I'm like, block.
Yeah, no.
Fuck that. Like, all I've done is play an innocent game of FIFA, and because I beat this kid, next minute I'm going to get accused of being a paedophile.
Yeah, no, I feel that. It almost feels like we're being set up not to interact with people.
That's what people want, no social.
But people love social media, though. Oh, but nothing's changed humanity like social media, though.
These draconian laws that come in over the past year and a half.
Yeah, but look at social media. But how many people do you know? This is why I've deleted Facebook. Yeah, the amount of people I saw of it who just tagged themselves going into local A&E. And that's it. They won't put, like, everything's fine, just going here because, so and so, where they do that. So that way they get 30 comments going, "Oh, you all right? You okay? Message me if you want to." They just want attention.
When there's been like serious things happen, like terrorist attacks or car crashes, people tag themselves as safe.
I think that is sort of good.
No, but people do it, and it's like, You weren't even there. You've been with me all day.
Yeah, that is pure
It's
attention
like-
seeking.
And then they're like, why are you saying things like that?
Yeah, but I think they're set up for people who live, I don't know, let's say South Wales, but they went for the weekend down into London, where the most terrorist attacks would most likely happen. And if the terrorist attack did happen in London, yeah,
Oh, yeah, I
they'd be
get
able to
that.
do that. So that way, their mum and dad who sat there going, "Oh my days, what's happened to our Jessica?" And she's like, "No, I'm safe." That is all right. When you're doing it for pure attention seeking, it's like that Jack Jones.
Well, that fucking idiot who was fine pranking up random members of the public. Well, he said were random, but suddenly
Hey, manager,
top up.
Yeah, top up.
Mysteriously,
we have a manager here. That's how well financed we are. I don't know, but Mark makes a good point though. Harry Potter is the new Bible for the future generations. I fully accept that. That is that is same as in English. That will be taught along with Shakespeare.
okay, Dad, but you could say that, but I could that Ready Player One book. I could bring up my kid, turning around saying, "This happened. I lived during this."
Yeah, I've told you before.
So that's the new Bible. So it's you could turn any child of the future generation. This happened.
No,
this
but
happened.
I think he means like in Harry Potter, there's a tyranny. You know, there's a dark force out there who wants to suppress everyone, and it's a journey of a youngster who's realizing, "Oh, we've got to fucking overcome this."
It's the government.
It's the government.
It's always the government.
It's the government. Yeah, but what if we didn't have a government? What would we have?
Fucking peaceful society.
No, we wouldn't, because
No,
everything
you know
it'd just be a
what?
clusterfuck. As much as I don't like the governments, any government's ever been, they're better than how it is. Thank you, manager.
You believe that?
To a certain degree, you have to, isn't it? It's almost like religion. There's a bit of faith. And also, Mark makes another good point. Games like GTA COD are used to desensitize people, which is true. Remember, as a kid, I discovered Best Score, a website. It was disgusting, the things I saw.
It's still around, mate.
Is
I
it?
do not know how that has not been closed down.
Because it's probably from.
It's not even something you have to go on the dark web to find. Anybody.
I don't know. It's like a website where they show like all how dead people. If you go to Mexico, you know what's on their front newspapers? Like not even blurred images of the people who've been killed by like the mafia. That what's happened recently, and it's not blurred like how it would be over here. It's just full on. That's the harsh reality, and I do. It is desensitized. I'll give you that. But does that also not show you we don't raise kids in a little bubble? Like, do you ever tell your kids that they're going to live forever when they're young, questioning life? When any human who is ever born will die, and it sucks.
But it's the way of the world. It's the way of the world. Why should I bring up my kid lying to him saying, "Yeah, you're going to live"?
What, even when they're like 3?
No, why should I?
Because you don't want to harm their innocence, isn't it? You can ask my dad. I think I was like 11. Yeah.
Sorry, I've just got a laugh at the manager from him.
What's the manager done now?
My love for my partner. You're gonna call
What's
me
he done?
gay?
In the group chat.
That's pretty gay.
Why not in a private chat?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie, because I see her message and I forgot she was part of the group chat.
Wow, you hearing that? You hearing that? That's just rude.
I'm only joking.
But anyway, what I was saying, you can ask my parents. I think I was 11. I literally just binge watched the extended edition of Lord of the Rings, and right at the end, when Frodo and Bilbo and Gandalf leave Sam and Merry and Pippin, it literally no. But I've already watched it all before. But just for that reason, that night when I binge watched all 3 of them, I literally just sat there and I just cried, and I was like, "How? What? Why? What the fuck?" And I literally just walked downstairs. Mum and Dad, it was probably like 3 o'clock in the morning. They were passed out on the sofa. And I literally went to my dad, "What is the meaning of life?" And it freaked them both out. They hugged me, of course, and that set my dad on his own journey where he went on to like the Alpha course, which is like, I don't know, like a Church of England thing, because he gets weird signs. My dad.
Yeah, but I think we all have some point in our life got a
Yeah, but my dad has some weird ones, man. He's fucking weird.
Care to go into detail?
No, because I won't do it justice.
Yeah, but I mean, you could give us a little insight into signs you're on.
I don't know. Well, when that happened with me going down, questioning what happened to him, he went down the hill into South Oxley. That a couple of weeks later, went into Jack's. Yeah.
Oh, the old hairdressers.
I think so. With that little cheap shop, Cheap Jack's.
Oh, Cheap Jack's.
Cheap Jack's,
Good
mate.
old Cheap Jack's.
Yeah, he went in there because my dad, he's very sociable. He talks to anyone, and then next, apparently this guy the owner or the person at the time just went dead face. It's like, I'm here to tell you, you need to go on the Alpha course. That's the meaning of life, and it freaked them out. You can ask them about it. Those are things. I don't know. I'm not doing it justice. This is why I don't want to talk about it.
No,
I'm not doing it justice
that's,
whatsoever.
that's a bit mad though.
Yeah.
You may not do it as much justice if your dad come on here and said it, but you can still give us some more insights into it. It's interesting.
It is
Interesting fact. But it's the same
it's
as like
weird.
My dad. You know what sort of stuff my dad's into.
Oh yeah.
Like, if anyone else is listening, then going onto his YouTube channel, his Facebook page, does that exploring the.
Yeah. What is it then? Shout out.
What?
What is it?
What?
What's the name of the channel?
I think his Facebook one is
Exploring
the UK with Mark and Co.
Bang! I want to do that.
Family.
Yeah, banging.
And then obviously people can see in the comments. They click on his YouTube channel.
Oh, is it? Oh, straight banging.
But yeah, you know what sort of stuff my dad's into.
Yeah.
So we're kind of similar in that aspect. But my dad might be more into the. No, actually, I think they're pretty much both in the same sort of thing.
A little bit.
I don't think my dad done the Alpha course. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, but I think that's because also your dad is, if correct me wrong, he's Catholic, whereas the Alpha course is
but you
Church
you
of
also
England.
know my dad. He questions everything.
Yeah, rightly so.
But surely, as a Catholic, you shouldn't be questioning things because God is the meaning. God is this.
Nah, is it? I don't know. I'm not. I was never. I don't know. I know as much about Catholic as I do Muslim. I'm Protestant. We have been. Even though it's all part of Christendom, and each of them, Jews, Muslims, and Christians, all follow the same God. It's just different prophets that they believe in, isn't it?
But it's like a post I put on our other group the other day.
Yeah.
Being religious is just basically being satisfied with not understanding.
It gives people meaning, doesn't it?
Like, it's just being
Otherwise we are.
Standing.
Otherwise, we are just semi-hairy apes floating on a rock, floating through the galaxy that's spinning through the universe.
Flat rock, you know.
Oh yeah, flat rock. Sorry. Yeah,
Flat rock,
that doesn't spin whatsoever. The sun rotates around us.
There are some nut jobs out there.
Oh, that's something I wanted to ask you. Yeah, because you like to believe in nonsense. Yeah.
Well, nonsense to you.
How do you know what the sun's actually made of? Because we simply can't get there.
You don't.
So it could just be a hologram, a projection of a high-powered.
Everyone's been saying this for years, haven't they? Like,
Have they? What? Go on. What?
that the sun and things are just holograms.
Nah, I'd
I've
accept
for years.
the moon, maybe.
No, the sun, the moon.
No way, mate. When I step outside here and the sun's out, I honestly want to go back indoors because I'm like, ooh, I can feel my skin cooking.
Can you? Or is that
Yeah.
what you've just been grown up to be told?
Nah.
That feeling you can feel with your skin cooking.
What, that hotness?
But it's like what is that thing they have in America supposedly? You know, that weather machine.
Oh, a harp.
Harp.
There you go.
How do we know that's not true? And that's being used to manipulate everything around the world.
I believe it's true to a certain degree.
Because, like, we've seen videos where it's raining to the left, but you look to the right and there's nothing.
Yeah, but at some point that rain's got to end. Otherwise, it'd be raining everywhere simultaneously, would it not?
What do you mean?
Well, you said so. It's like Minecraft, isn't it? You could, when it's raining, at some point you could step out of that.
I didn't say Minecraft.
No, but you said at one point it's raining, but if you look to the right, it's not.
Yeah.
At some point that rain's got to end, is it not?
Decides when they all depends on when they decide to turn their machine.
So
on.
even if before the machine, you're telling me when it rained everywhere at once.
It must have done.
No, how
it
could
must
it?
Have done, surely.
No, at some point it's got to end.
No, but I'm on about it wouldn't have been. Oh, look, rain on the left side.
But what would it have been? What would it have
sun
been?
on the right side of the road.
What would it have been?
It would have been rain everywhere.
Nah, no, not everywhere. No way.
So
Come on now.
I don't understand. Yeah, this is one thing that always baffles me.
Go on.
When they say England's expecting snow.
Yeah.
It snows up north.
Yeah.
But we don't get nothing. That's always baffled me. Always. That has always got on my mind. And there's something.
Yeah, but they do that as well because the media's like doing that. What do people like doing when they hear Britain's going to snow? Panic buy. Get them sales up.
Yeah,
they love it.
Panic buying hasn't been around for years.
No, because supermarkets haven't been around for years, is it?
No, but what I'm saying is it's always been mind-boggling to me
What?
how it snows up north
Because it's colder up north.
But it doesn't snow. Like it doesn't snow down here. Like we'll have the snow clouds,
Yeah.
but we get no snow. But then you look the next day.
Because it's colder.
Up, yeah, but up in fucking north or down
Because it's
south,
fucking
they've got, like,
colder.
fucking 3 feet of it, and we get.
Because it's fucking colder.
We get slush.
It's colder.
We get slush.
Well, also because we have a lot more car density down here, and all those dirty fumes being backed out on the back end. There's more people living down here. More carbon dioxide. You know what I mean? Up north, it's scarce, isn't it? Because who wants to live up north? Let's be real. I don't want to. You got to go further south. South is best. Meh.
Yeah.
Meh. Well, where would you ideally want to live in Britain?
Ideally,
Yeah.
I'd love to live in the castle my parents got married in.
Oh, Gillingham.
I'd love to get married. In there. I'd love to get married there too, like my parents did.
Oh, yeah.
But I'd also love to live there.
But you can't, though.
Why?
Because someone else owns it, surely.
Yeah, someone else owns it, but why can't I possibly one day make enough money to buy it and live in it?
Nah.
Why?
Why would you want to do that?
Why wouldn't I?
Because then you're going to rob other people of experience in that great castle like your parents did, surely.
No, because the owner of that castle also has a room there he lives in, and the rest of it gets rented out. To
Oh,
people.
stuff that, man. Imagine living in your home, but loads of randoms coming in and out all the time. That'd do my titting. I'd build a moat straight away and be like, nope, go away.
Then that's you robbing people of that.
Good, fuck them. Literally.
Then how can you turn around and say to me, well, you can't do that because you'll be robbing people?
Yeah, but I wouldn't go out my way to buy already like a landmark. I'd build my own new castle.
That's a good shout.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, no, that is one place I'd really love to live. It's a lovely area.
Yeah.
It's a really nice place.
It's too close to Scotland, though.
But there's nothing wrong with Scotland. There's
No, no, no,
it's
no.
like
The land itself is nothing wrong. It's the people who inhabit it. You know what I mean? The people who inhabit it don't make the land.
I went up there before.
Yeah.
Went into the pub, and the
Yeah.
first thing I said is, "You playing the England game in here?"
Yeah.
And people were like, "Yeah." And I was like, "All right, well, I'll be in later then." Went in there, watched the England game, had a few drinks with the Scottish locals.
Yeah.
Next day, they're fucking knocking on the door that I was staying at the time, asking if I'm fucking coming to the pub for a beer.
Yeah, that's
They're not.
beautiful, man. That's beautiful. Yeah, that's what makes the British British. Yeah. But what I've grown up here all my life, yeah, is all the Scottish that I've ever known.
Hate
Yeah.
English.
They not only hate English, yeah, they will happily express it every fucking moment they got. And all I had at the time is just a kid like, oh, okay, yeah, well, I'm English. Huh, we're better at football than you. And growing up, it's like, you know what? Fuck this. Go away. I've had enough of it.
Yeah, but that's why everyone should live differently. Like, you don't. Why do you have to live on the morals you've been brought up on? Of, yeah, we hate the Scottish. No, you make your own choices in your life.
I do make my own choice. I remember my dad took me on a great trip. Him and his mate, Bruce, from New Zealand. Yeah, he didn't know who his dad was. And he discovered that his dad was born and raised in Scotland. So,
New Zealand, you mean the closest place to Australia?
yeah, the closest, yeah.
That we all believed, but it's actually Papua New Guinea.
It's only 5 miles, I think, or 8, which is weird.
That's baffling. But yeah, carry on.
Yeah, took a road trip all the way from down south, all the way up to Scotland. When was going, where's Loch Ness? Oh, yeah, Loch Ness. Honestly believed, me and this other kid, that we thought we did find Loch Ness.
What, the Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah.
Well, laugh at me, call me what you want, because I know you'll go against me anyway.
Go on.
I believe the Loch Ness Monster could exist.
No, I could believe it, Lou. I swear there's canals going in and out of that loch into other riverbeds and shit, is it not?
Right, and I'm not being funny. Years upon years upon years upon years of images, sonar, people saying, yeah, I've seen this. That can't all be false. It cannot all be false, surely. Even before conspiracy theories were even around, and these fucking false theories were around.
That makes me wonder, how old is that legacy or the tale of the Loch Ness Monster? How old do you reckon it is?
I'll give it a quick Google. How old?
Because I swear that there's a old folk tale in England. I'm not really sure. I'm in Gloucester, and it's about 2 kids who just randomly appeared in the forest, and they're both green.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I swear even there's they named it after the kids. and then after a while the boy died, and then the girl slowly turned her skin like
Turned
pale.
green or something.
No, it was originally green,
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
it turned back into like normal English white.
Yeah, I've seen that thing before. Right. So, 1933
Yeah,
the first sighting
1933.
was the first sighting
So it's not even that old, then, is it?
of the Loch Ness
It's not
Monster.
that old. If you told me this is going back 800 years, I could believe you. It's just like how people used to think mermaids were real. Or is it just the human lack of understanding of what a manatee is?
But we come across humans all the time with strange abnormalities.
Like what?
Conjoined twins.
But isn't that, I always saw
children
that as,
born with two heads.
that's just rolling the dice of life, is it not?
So how do we know a child wasn't born with fucking a tail? A weird tail.
Yeah,
like a fin.
yeah, I can see a weird tail, but
And then
I doubt they'd be able to swim in the ocean fluently like a dolphin could. Because they would have raised up all their life just being ridiculed and suppressed.
Well,
They wouldn't have been given the freedom to live their life to the fullest, would they? Because no parent who ever born that back in the day was like, oh my God, that's got a tail, you're a demon. They wouldn't go, yeah, go on, let's go swimming.
yes, they would have thrown it away.
What, flushed it down the toilet?
No, they would have thrown it into the ocean.
Or they would have just drowned it, killed it. Or has it got gills?
What if it didn't? What if it didn't die?
It didn't die. But then how would it repopulate?
Evolution.
Evolution. That's if it's true.
There's much evidence to support evolution.
Like what?
Like
Night manager.
good night, manager.
Good night.
Good night. Wait, Mark's been there where the growing children is.
What's he saying?
He just says he's been there. Oh, what the fuck? I want to go there.
Well, I've said to you before, why don't we go on like?
Because we don't drive, do we?
Yeah, but we don't.
And
need to
I'm not going on a
drive.
coach to go to the middle of nowhere, then have to walk 3 miles to get to said nowhere.
Don't need to drive. There's so many places within easy travelling distance where we could go visit that have so much
Name
historic
two. Name two.
information.
Name two.
What do you mean?
Name two. And the silence continues.
Cold Christmas.
Cold Christmas. What's that?
Cold Christmas in St Albans.
What's that?
It's like a. It's so hard to explain. It's like the ruins of a church.
Okay.
It's like a really historic. Like they have it, but they won't knock it down.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough because it's old, isn't it?
But we go see that. That's in St Albans. That's easy travelling distance for us to go and see.
Right.
And then there was one that I used to like to go to all the time, but they've now torn it all down, which was the Radlett Asylums, Harperbury Hospital.
Oh yeah. You told me about that.
I used to go there all the time, like 2-3 times a week. And I remember going one time with a few friends, and we was walking, and we looked to our left, like going up the path.
Yeah.
And we see this random hole in the ground that had never been there.
Never.
And we all looked, no, never. We all looked at each other and was like, that was not there last night, because we actually went there the night before.
Yeah.
So we go down said hole like a bunch of idiots in the fucking middle of a field leading up to a mental asylum.
Yeah.
And it was baffling, mate. There were doors under there. There were fucking pipes leading to secret rooms with chains in them and stuff.
No, that's weird. Yeah, that's good though, because if no humans had a curiosity to go and delve into new things, nothing would ever
Mate,
come with it.
Don't get me wrong. I was terrified every moment I was down there, because as soon as we went down there, everyone's phones switched off. Not just lost signal, everyone's phone died.
Oh, fair. Oh, Mark's correct. Mark's fine. It's Woolpit in Suffolk, where where the grown children.
Oh yeah.
That's actually Woolpit. That's a sick name as well, Woolpit.
Yeah, but that's not even far.
Is it not?
Suffolk's not far.
Is it not?
Nah.
If you're walking, it is.
That's why man invented train.
Oh, I hate trains
That's
though.
why man invented coach. Man invented bus.
Nah.
Man invented bicycle.
Oh, what's this? Mark's told us about Aleister Crowley. You know much about Aleister Crowley?
Aleister Crowley.
Yeah, apparently Loch Ness is said to have a porthole. That is why Aleister Crowley brought a house right on the loch Boleskine House. Oh, I got to look at this.
No, I ain't
Alistair
done that.
Crowley. Alistair Crowley. Yeah, where's my phone? I got to look at this.
But yeah, no, yeah, it's straight. I'll go back for it. After you shut up, just to give them more info. So yeah, me and 2 other people, we went down this hole,
Yeah.
and as soon as we went down there, our phones turned off. All 3 of our phones turned off.
Yeah, that could just be. That could just be.
What? Could be what?
What are you both? How old were you at the time?
23, 24.
23, 24. What do most 23, 24-year-olds like doing on their phones? Being on it all the time.
But when we come out of the hole, our phones come back on.
Nah, I can't. That when you say that, yeah,
If
I
I
can only agree to that if I witness it.
If I could get hold of the people that I went down there with now, I would, to clarify this story.
That's weird.
Because we went down this hole and all of our phones went off.
Okay.
Not
Oh,
just-
Alistair Crowley was an English occultist, ceremonial magician, poet, painter, novelist, and mountaineer. Okay. He found the religion of Thelma, identifying himself as the prophet entrusted with guiding humanity into the Eon of Horus in the early 20th century. Oh, that's what. Oh,
Horus?
that's what. Yeah.
That's an Egyptian god, isn't it?
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. And apparently, Cold Christmas is in where? Not St. Albans.
Where?
Where? Where?
Where's that, Dad?
We do have weird names over in Britain, don't
Oh,
we?
mate.
So many weird names.
Yeah, and some places, like in near where I live, there's a lane called Hoe Lane.
There's even a belt end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But what annoys me though is the settlers who went to America with, you know, with the same cities that we have over here, but they name it over there, and all they did was put the new in it, and the way they pronounce it just fucks me right off.
Like they've got a
Like
Watford,
New Birmingham, Birmingham, mate. It's Birmingham.
Birmingham,
Birmingham.
or London.
Oh yeah, they've got New London.
over
Yeah,
there. They've
yeah.
got a Watford.
Have they actually?
I think they've got a Watford.
Yeah, but it's just like in Turkey, there's a town called Car, like spelt with C-A-R. I remember I found that out when I was like a kid, and I was like, that's just silly.
But if you probably spoke to
What, in
someone from
Turkish?
Turkey, they'd say he's pronounced differently.
Yeah. Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin had a house. Okay. I love your dad, yeah, he's like a Wikipedia of it. It's sick. Like, I wouldn't be able to-
Probably got Google open.
As much as I like to pride myself in remembering stuff, I would not be able to pull, especially names and dates. I have a real problem with like pulling out of my head. It just all mumbles up.
I don't until I'm put on the spot.
Is it?
If I'm not put on the spot, then I could. I've done it over the past couple of days in that other group.
Nah.
I've just pulled things out of thin air. Like
What, even names and dates?
I done it, did I not?
What?
I done it the other day, did I not?
What do you mean?
When we was arguing with someone
Yeah.
in that group, and I said, "Well, don't you remember when this happened?" And that was when I was 21. That's 5 years ago.
Yeah, no, that's weird.
But if you put me on the spot at that moment in time, like if we sat opposite each other, you said, "So what happened?" I'd be like,
You sound like a woman.
"Yeah." It'd be like, "What?" Oh.
Do you remember what you said this exact date on the 31st of August, yeah, in 2015?
I'll tell you thing. Women don't remember. It's because it's all recorded on their phones.
While they also being recorded by the big corporations, huh?
Let's not get into that because the other day you purposely argued with me and it really upset me.
How so? What do you mean? I won't deny they are listening to a certain degree, but they're only listening for key words, isn't it? I fully believe. Unless you yourself have been selected by other corporations or the government to be followed.
No, I believe they listen to everything we're saying.
To a certain degree, I can agree with you.
But
But most people, let's be honest, their lives ain't that interesting.
you knew they're not.
No,
So
even
they're
to go.
living their best life.
How? There's some poor sod then. If that's the case, living like sat in the office just listening like to us, just pure nonsense.
Comments?
Yeah, Mark said we might visit Boleskine House next week. We're definitely visiting the cemetery near it that I suppose have tunnels to the house. Oh shit! What? You actually go out your way looking for these tunnels? But then, oh wait, what? That actually sounds sick.
Yeah, well, my dad does go to things places like. Did you know the Grove Hotel?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you know near there? You can go underground.
What do you mean?
You can actually go underground near the Grove Hotel.
What you? What? What? Hey,
Yeah.
go on.
You can actually like go underground. They've been there. Like you go underground,
Yeah.
and I can't remember whereabouts near the Grove Hotel it was. I'm sure it's Grove Hotel. Correct me, Dad, if I'm wrong. Where you and next door went underground but it was like fucking infested by false widow spiders.
Ooh. Get the old deodorant and lighter
Here's
out.
something you might find interesting.
Go on.
So when we go to Chillingham,
Yeah.
there's we go over this marshland.
Yeah.
We go over called Moors.
Yeah.
You know what Moors
Yeah,
are,
yeah,
really,
of course,
like fucking swampy marshland. And,
Good British soil, that.
but there's actually a hill there, and we've named it Tandy's Hill.
Wow. What did Tandy do on it?
No, it's because he camps up there and stuff like. We'll leave them there overnight, go back to the.
Well, like
castle.
wild camping.
Yeah.
What? That's
Yeah,
sick.
like we came back before, and he made us like. I'm sure he made us like rabbit stew or something.
Savage.
Yeah.
Savage. I'm not eating that.
But like he stayed up there and like mate, and when I mean in the you say bumfuck middle of nowhere, I mean bumfuck middle of nowhere, mate.
But does he have permission from like the landowner? Because I
There's
swear
no fucking
there's everything is a landowner, isn't it? Because I swear wild camping in Britain is not allowed.
mate. Honestly, I could get you a picture up.
Yeah, go on.
And on the way over there, there's a hole in the ground.
Yeah.
And this is miles away
Miles.
from the castle. But this hole in the ground leads back to the castle.
Yeah.
If you kept following around the tunnel and stuff, it'd lead you back to the castle. Like you have to go deep in, then crawl on your belly underneath this rock.
Yeah.
And there's like tunnels that lead back to the castle. There was like escape tunnels.
I could believe that. Of course you want escape tunnels if you live near a castle, wouldn't you?
Wait, it's miles away. Like it's.
Oh shit, this Boleskine house that Mark's visiting next week. That's in Scotland.
Well, that's where they're locking my brother up, isn't it?
On the southeast side of Loch Ness. My parents recently came from Scotland and they loved it. Don't get me wrong, I shit on the Scottish people, but I do. The land is beautiful, can't deny it. Same as the whole planet is near enough beautiful. Even a desert, barren wasteland, it's beautiful.
Do you reckon? Oh, it's always been a barren wasteland.
Or no, because at some point it would have been Pangea and other supercontinents, and the land moves and shifts and rises and falls, doesn't it? Like, I swear in the Sahara Desert, bro, you can find bare shark bones. Well, not bones as such, but like little pebbles of bones. Because they used to be a great seal.
Sure that they actually found a megalodon fossil in the Sahara Desert.
I can believe that. Honestly,
Or it might not be the Sahara, but I think I'm just saying Sahara. It's
Yeah.
the name of the desert I know, but I'm pretty sure in a desert,
Yeah.
they found like megalodon fossils and fossils of giant creatures and stuff.
I can believe that. I honestly wish megalodons were still there. Like, how terrifying would that be? Like, trade on the planet would cease to exist if there was megalodons still about. Or, knowing us, we would hunt them to extinction.
Like that picture I showed you the other day of that fucking humongous, like Titan boa snake that they found.
Yeah, and they
It's
killed
alive.
it, didn't they?
No, I don't think they've killed it. I think they just moved it.
Yeah, but I don't think it was a true Titan boa, though. It
No,
was just
the
a
size
abnormally...
of
Yeah,
that,
it's a big
mate.
fucker.
The size of that. But if it was a Titan boa, like you said, what would we as human beings do? We'd kill it, examine it, stick it in a museum, say, oh, the last Titan boa to ever be found.
Yeah,
Boom, and that's now gone.
we do have a habit of doing that, don't we?
It's wrong. It's wrong.
But we're superior, isn't it? That's what a lot of humans
We're
like to
no
say.
superior, mate. We act like we're highest in the food chain and the alpha species. We are not. We are not the alpha species.
But we are, though, sort of.
We're not the alpha species. All we are good at is going around
Which makes you alpha, though.
boasting. Oh, I can kill that.
That's no different than when you're in school with the alpha kid. Yeah, they might be able to pummel the fuck out of people in that classroom, which makes them alphas.
But you're going to be serving me my chips in McDonald's. Or you're going to be in prison for running down a fucking veteran.
Yeah, wrong'uns.
Absolutely disgraceful.
Wrong'uns.
But yeah, we should go and visit some of these places.
Yeah, I'd happily.
A coach journey.
Yeah, but it's not just... So we've got to travel to the coach station, get the coach, go there. Then from the coach station, from up there, we've got to go and travel from there. That is long. That's so long.
That's the beauty of
One of us needs to
exploring
learn how to...
adventuring.
No, it's not just adventuring. I'll be
I don't
surrounded by
wanna- I
fuck
don't wanna
nuggets.
drive to places and contribute
What do you mean?
contribute to polluting.
But what's the difference between you and that coach?
Because once I've got that coach, I won't then further contribute until I'm getting.
But what happens when you're on that coach and you're driving past? Because you're not driving, you're daydreaming, looking out the window, and you see something amazing. But because you're in a coach, you can't stop and go, yeah, let's have a detour.
No, but you could be
But if
like,
you had a car and we drove past, yeah, and I was driving, and you was like, what was that? And I'd be like, wait, fucking left turn. What was it? And we have that's an adventure, surely.
yeah, but I'm happy walking places.
Well, I'm fat, so no.
So am I.
Yeah, well, you play football. I
I
don't.
haven't played in 2 years.
Oh, 2
What's
years.
your excuse now?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm lazy, innit?
Like, get in a coach somewhere, get off said coach, book a hotel near a coach station, put our stuff in, we go out, and we can walk to places. Who cares if it takes 2 hours? We might see something nice on the way. Like I've gone out and walked.
Where am I
with my
going for a
dad-
shit?
What?
Where am I going for a shit?
Like a fucking wild man in the bush.
I'm not a wild man.
In the bush.
I'm a southern fairy. Yeah. I don't think I could even do it in an outhouse. You know, I'm like, oh, it's too chilly.
That's the only thing that was-
Wait, so you won't do an outhouse, but you do it in the wild? How's that work?
Yeah, but I would do it in our house.
Oh, you're a savage.
I'd do it in our house. I'd do it in a bush if I needed to. If you got to go, you got to go.
Yeah, I've seen you at it.
Yeah.
You never see me at it. Because I'm privileged.
Silver spoon thing.
Silver spoon, the audacity of it.
Yeah, we could walk to things and you can find shit on the way. Like, I've gone down there and walked with my family before. We've come across things that we didn't even know were going to be there.
Like what?
When we went to Derbyshire,
Yeah.
we went on a walk and we come across like one of the only still fucking natural springs running down from the mountain.
Is it?
And it's there running into like a trough and you can drink from the thing. It's all fresh.
That's
And
bang.
it's only filtered by stones coming down the mountain.
Yeah, but then maybe there's a part of me who doesn't want to do this because it would make me sad that I have to leave that place
Yeah, but you can always
and
go
come back to this shitty suburban life.
You can always go back. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, I don't want to always go back. I want to stay in there.
You can always go back.
I want
You
to
can
stay
always go
there.
Find something else.
Go find something else.
Like there's so many good places we can go to, like Cheddar Gorge.
Who?
Cheddar Gorge.
What's that?
That's near Glastonbury.
Okay. Oh, isn't that where like, that massive big hill is as well?
Glastonbury?
That I've
Yeah.
seen your dad.
And you can go like in the like Cheddar Gorge. You go in and you walk through. You walk over like fucking massive bridges, and all you've got. So you're this side is around.
Yeah.
This side's around.
Yeah.
You look down. It's like thousands of foot drop.
Oh,
Like my uncle and that went before,
yeah.
and my mum grabbed him
Why?
because and luckily she did,
Why?
because one step in front of him was a giant drop down.
What?
Yeah.
What? Glastonbury tour?
No, Cheddar Gorge, I think it
Oh,
was.
Cheddar Gorge. That's savage.
Like, there's so many nice places in England, and everyone's always like, "Oh, I always want to leave the country." I used to always argue with my parents, say, "All my friends are going abroad," and this and that. But now as I've got older, I appreciate the places they took me.
No, without a doubt. But there are sometimes you should go abroad at certain things. But most people who do go abroad always go to the same fucking places, don't they? When they do, oh, I'll go Tenerife. Las Playas Americas. That's all literally. That's all they do every year.
But are you telling me if you had the funds every year, you would go to Disneyland, Florida?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. If I had the money, I'll have a permanent residence there.
Exactly.
But if I had also had the money to do that, I'd also have my own private jet where I could go travel here, there, and everywhere where I wanted to at my own time and place without having to be bogged down by loads of random people.
My parents, well, I don't know if my mum did, but my dad and that they rid bicycle like to Birmingham.
Yeah, that's like 80 miles. Fucking hell. That way.
Dad, correct me if I'm wrong. Was it Birmingham that you rid a bicycle to?
What, in one day or a couple of days?
One day.
Raw. Bet you got sore ass from that.
Rid a bike to Birmingham.
That's like, I couldn't even ride a bike from here to Heathrow.
I couldn't ride a bike from here to my back to home. But I'd happily walk it down the canal.
What do you mean you walk it down the canal?
I'd happily walk down the canal. You know me, I love a walk down the canal.
Yeah, I love a canal. Canal boats were fun. Nah, Mark said no to Berkhamsted.
Oh. Could have lied, big drop there.
That's just your false memories, though.
But they went on a massive, it was like for a massive spree all the time. Oh, we're going out on a bike ride. Oh, we're going out on a bike ride. They stopped using the car. They would bike into town every time they needed food shopping.
That's it. That's how we should be, though.
I enjoy walking. You give me a pair of headphones, my battery pack, I'll stick on an audiobook and I'll walk anywhere.
Huh?
I'll walk anywhere.
We'll be
I
anywhere.
done 13 hours down the canal. I got to from where I am.
You're just determined, aren't you?
I got to from where I am to fucking Stoke Lockman, which was 6.5 hours away, and then walked 6.5 hours home.
Yeah, it's a weird one. We'll do it more often then.
I love walking.
I do love walking.
I enjoy it. Like,
It's the
honestly,
walk back that's always long.
Nah.
Yeah, because
The walk
you
back's
seen
long.
something amazing, but now you got to come back and walk down the same shitty grey streets that you've looked at every day of your life, and you're just like, it's so mundane.
Yeah, I suppose the walk back is long, but once you're back, you're like, what? You feel so good in yourself.
God damn. Same as when you go Fort Park, then surely.
Nah, you don't feel good in yourself, do you?
Well, yeah, of course you don't.
You
You're
feel good
riding
in
that
yourself.
adrenaline.
You feel good in yourself because you've been to Fort Park.
Yeah, I haven't been to Fort Park in years. I would definitely would be if I
Yeah,
went
but
back.
you feel good. You feel good within yourself, like you've done something.
Yeah, I have done something. I rode stealth. And saw.
Fuck-a-doodle-doo,
What's wrong with
like
that?
Millions of other people.
What's wrong with that? I still vividly remember when your parents took us there. I had a great time.
Yeah, we did.
You guys taught me something new, putting crisp in sandwiches, brother. And I always remember at the time I was like, what the fuck is this?
I don't understand how you'd never done that as a child.
Well, like you said, I'm silver spooned.
Like putting crisps in a
I
sandwich.
had a servant do that for me.
Like putting,
I didn't physically do that to myself. What the fuck?
putting crisps in a sandwich is like a must.
Yeah, and I still vividly remember what it was. It was a ham and cheese sandwich, and it was it bacon Walker's crisp, isn't it, man? I remember that.
Like,
Back
if
of your
you get a chicken
minivan.
Bacon sandwich. The normal thing to do
Yeah.
is Thai chicken McCoys.
I don't know.
Just put that in there. You get ham sandwiches, cheese and onion crisps.
Cheese and onion. I'll give you that. He's a good one.
What? Crisps in a sandwich?
Yeah.
It's just a norm. It's just a norm. Like you've missed out. Sadly.
Sadly? How?
Because if you'd known that at that age, you'd been like,
No, because what I normally done is take a mouthful sandwich and then some crisps shoved in my mouth quick time. Which, let's be honest, is basically the same as having a crisp in the sandwich.
no.
How is it not? How is it not? It's still being processed.
You bite into that sandwich, you get the crunch.
Yeah, but I'm fat, so all I cared about was what was in the taste of my mouth while I'm.
All you cared about was how much food you could fit in your fucking pie hole at
Yeah.
once.
Too right.
Like, it's a surprise, like, not one you didn't choke. But to
That's
be
very
fair,
insulted. What do you
some of-
mean?
Some of my best times.
I've seen you choke more of food than I have, so how do you explain that?
Yeah, but that's because I'm a greedy bastard and I don't know how to
Nah.
chew my food properly before I swallow because I just want to get it in my belly. 'Cause
Yeah.
the quicker you eat, the more you can eat.
Yeah, but that's
And
just
the
pure
trick
gluttonous.
That's the trick at a buffet. The quicker you eat, the more you can eat. If you eat slow, like my mum tells me all the time, that's what she tells me when I try to eat loads. If you eat slow, you'll get full up quicker.
You're gonna get-
No, fuck that.
No, but she has got a point.
Yeah,
But it also gets colder, doesn't it? And I hate eating cold food. Unless
I come in from mine, like my partner, there'd be dinner there. She'll be like, "You're not going to eat over dinner." I'm like, "No," and I eat it straight away.
you're savage.
It doesn't matter. Food's food.
I had nachos, yeah. Normally I just have salsa, cheese, jalapenos, and the tortilla chips. But this time we got sour cream and guacamole. Cook the nachos, everything's all melted. Then we put the sour cream and guacamole on top of it afterwards. And the feeling of cold and hot in my mouth, honestly, was making me feel sick.
But that's why you just eat it all cold
Or hot.
or hot. But there's no problem with eating it all cold. Actually, do you know what? There is a problem. Like my brother is a minger, mate.
Imagine eating ice cream hot. It'd be shit, wouldn't
My
it?
brother is a minger. Like,
Go on.
Like he'll come in and he'll eat cold beans.
What's wrong with that?
Out the tin.
Which brother is it? The second eldest or the third?
The streak of piss.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but he's just.
He'll eat I know when I say anything, like there's certain foods that should only be eaten hot. He will eat anything bone freezing cold.
But then if you actually look at it in the grand scheme of things, that's good though.
Yeah.
No fuss about it. Which I think most humans should be like.
So I'm always moaning at people when they're like, "Oh, that's so cheap." Who gives a flying fuck? Because if the world goes tits up and that's all you can fucking afford, you'll eat it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you'd be eating those raviolis in a
I'd
can.
rather go hungry. Well, you're a fucking idiot.
But then again, could you argue, should we eat it 3 times a day?
Well,
I don't
I've
think
actually been eating a lot less lately.
Yeah, that's only because you currently quit a habit and you don't want to replace it with another habit.
No,
But
even
you,
before I quit that, even last week before I quit that, I've been eating a lot less. Like I haven't been having like breakfast, lunch, dinner. Like I've been grabbing a quick little thing at work. Like if I'm doing a long shift,
yeah,
I'll go grab like a sausage roll, and then that'll do me until I get home, and I'll have my dinner, and that's it. But I don't have breakfast because I can't eat early in the morning. Like it's very rarely I can eat like at like 7, 8 in the morning.
but maybe you should be eating early in the morning.
Nah, I feel sick, mate.
Yeah, that's a good thing until you get used to it.
Surely.
Surely.
Hell no.
Why not?
Because sometimes mornings you just wake up and you're like, oh.
Nah, I find on the weekends I wake up starving for breakfast.
I wake up, don't get me wrong, I wake up hungry, but it's just like, no, it's too early to eat.
No, I feel that.
Like on my early morning shifts, like 4 in the morning I start, I get up and I'm like, oh.
You should have some porridge.
Oh.
That's the one thing the Scottish do good. Porridge.
Porridge is nice.
It is nice. And the bagpipes, yeah, I used to hate the bagpipes when I was younger. Yeah, honestly, me and my dad both used to hate it, but these last 3 years, like, imagine being, whether you visualize yourself as an Englishman or anyone who went against Scotland back in medieval times, and before you even saw them, yeah, you fight, especially if you're in Scotland and on the moors, yeah, and you hear those bagpipes for the first time, and you look around like, holy fuck, man. It goes to your bones, doesn't it? And it's sick, bro. I love it. I love the chills I get.
They've got to be one of the most eerie instruments.
That's why I think that's what I love. Even in America, when people at funerals, they still have bagpipes. It's beautiful. I do like the bagpipes. I'll give you that.
Yeah, you hear the bagpipes and it's like, oh.
But you don't have to have your dick out in the skirt to be playing it. Sorry, but you don't. I don't give a fuck.
You tell who's the guy that Mel Gibson played? Is it William the Conqueror?
William the Bruce, wasn't it? He wasn't William the Conqueror. Eh?
The one who flashed his arse.
Yeah, it's William something. It's William the Bruce, isn't it? Something Bruce.
I don't know.
All I know is he ended up losing that battle to the English and getting his head dipped in tar and stuck at the Tower of London.
God, they depicted that film a lot different. Though,
Of course they
didn't
do, because they love shitting on England, don't they? Because we were the top dogs of humanity. There's never been no bigger empire than the British Empire, and that's from the 9th biggest island on this planet.
Yeah.
Because not just because it's English were the majority of it, but because of the union between the Irish, the Scottish, the Welsh, and the English, all of us together, fuck this planet. We brought it to their knees. William Wallace, there we go. Thank you, Mark.
We could do it again.
No, we couldn't do it again. No, we shouldn't do it again. There shouldn't be no more new empires again. No, those were different times. They should be looked at like, oh yeah, you're a bit dickhead, but it should be respected.
With all the threats coming from China and North Korea, is it?
Well, yeah, sort of.
Is that one with Kim Jong-un?
Yeah.
So all the threats coming from there, like World War III, I think we should join forces with our allies again.
What, the West?
We would become one of them. We'd become feared again. Like, oh fuck that.
Well, don't get me wrong. You know me. I love American culture, the way the Americans do things, but they have also done fucked up things. And I feel like all governments who are the big boys have done fucked up things.
Like?
Well, like, you know, SpongeBob, yeah, you know where they got that name from, Bikini Bottom. It's where the Americans were, during the Cold War, is where they tested a lot, I say a lot, but some of their nuclear weapons on the Marshall Islands.
Really?
Yeah, brother, and they suppressed their people of the Marshall Islands big time. Like, even to this day, yeah, if you look on Google Images, yeah, where the American military bases are, they're all like proper suburban. They got their McDonald's, they got their Starbucks, and then when you look at the natives who live on there, it's just slums. And that's to this day, brother. It's disgusting.
You know what? You taught me something because I never knew that.
Yeah, probably it's where they invented bikinis from, because it's just so fucking hot. And I was about to say sunglasses, but I believe sunglasses were invented during the height of NASA, because otherwise you'd be blinded when you're up there doing your spacewalk.
The height of NASA.
Yeah, you know, back in the Cold War and the race going to the moon.
Yeah. So like getting into ocean and stuff, then what do you think about the Bermuda Triangle?
It is weird, isn't
What
it?
do you think's going on there?
I don't know, I don't know. I have different opinions on it. It changes each day. I don't know. I would like to go there because the island of Bermuda, they still use pound sterling because they're still one of our overseas territories.
Yeah, but it's the same as
Or like the Cayman Islands or something.
Gibraltar.
Oh yeah, Gibraltar. Yeah, the Horn of the Mediterranean. Never giving that up. Fuck the Spanish. I do like Spanish.
Yeah.
But you know who needs more representation and love? The Portuguese.
What with legal to sleep with a 13-year-old?
No, brother, we've been over this. Like, it's the same over here, bruv. No 25-year-old will truly sleep with a 16-year-old and expect not to get ridiculed. And I, without a doubt, believe there are Portuguese out there who believe that's how it should be. But they've been our oldest allies.
Yeah. Okay, but
The only time I have a problem with Portugal was it 2006. I want to say it's the Euros, England versus Portugal. When Rooney spat in the back of Ronaldo spat in the back of Rooney's head. Got him sent. Yeah, bruv, he spat in the back of Rooney's head, so made Rooney fucking go for him, and then Rooney got sent off, and then Ronaldo winked over at his manager. That is the only time I've truly hated Ronaldo.
I thought Ronaldo winked at Rooney on the bench.
Oh, maybe that.
I thought that's made it more.
Oh, nah.
Teammates.
Yeah, exactly. But he spat on the back of his
I
head.
think he did.
Did he not?
No, Rooney stamped on the nuts of I think it was Carvalho,
Yeah.
and then Ronaldo come over to the ref.
Once again, this just shows depending on what editing we've seen on YouTube, isn't it?
Showing an imaginary card, and
What do you mean imaginary?
Sent off. Like Ronaldo
Yeah.
was there going, oh, ref.
And what about the Euros in Greece when we played them in the semis? I swear, I remember that very vividly. Well, very vividly.
Go on.
Well, I swear it went. I either went to penalties. I can't remember now. You put me on the spot.
I thought you remembered it vividly.
I did think vividly, but now I'm thinking about it. I'm doubting myself. Thanks for giving me anxiety, Percival.
Parzival.
Wait, so this goes down to the argument I've always had with people about jalapeno. So if people say water, and that's English,
Yeah.
how do most English people say water? Water.
Ooh.
So should everyone pronounce water as water because that's how the word derived from? No.
No, but if you've got a Z, it sounds a lot different to a C.
Yeah, I suppose.
And if you've got an A,
Yeah.
it sounds a lot different to an E.
Or
Percival and
Parzival.
Parzival.
Well, that's my opinion. Who the fuck are you to tell me how I shouldn't or shouldn't pronounce it?
The person who you're calling wrong.
What are you on about?
But you've
Wait a
gone
minute.
completely off thingy.
Go
That's
on.
what your views are on the triangle.
I don't know. There are some weird times, but what's happened since the last 30 years in the Bermuda Triangle has actually been really weird. Nothing.
Yeah.
Because technology's got a hell of a lot better.
Yeah. There's been a plane.
Step closer.
There's been a plane recently.
Has there?
You know that one that went missing.
No, not really. What one?
Oh, Boeing something.
Honestly, I ain't know. I'm not saying it to doubt you or prove me anything. Honestly, I have no
Yeah.
Scooby of any recent planes
Not
missing.
like over the past year, but like over the past couple of years.
I don't know. Like these last 2 years, yeah, I rarely look at media outlets, and I feel myself as a better person not being just bombarded with
Okay,
such
well,
negativity.
Let's bring up such a media outlet. You know, so obviously I showed you earlier on. There's that film woman who got accidentally,
Oh yeah.
quote unquote, accidentally shot at by a quote unquote prop gun
Yeah.
and died.
Yeah.
Well, it's recently come to light that beforehand, I don't know whether it was over the past few years or how recent it was, she posted, I have files that get Hillary Clinton arrested.
Yeah, but like you said then, just how long ago was this, and why hasn't it since then released that information?
Because it goes back to the last podcast. Silence.
Silence.
People
Well, it
get
took 2 years to
silenced.
get silenced.
Here we go, let me see.
What was that? Helen?
So she posted it on Twitter.
Yeah.
I have information that will lead to Hillary Clinton's arrest. That was on the 18th of October
Yeah. Well, yeah.
this year.
Oh shit. Okay.
This year.
Yeah. That's a bit weird.
Then on the 22nd of October, she was quote unquote accidentally killed by quote unquote
Suicided.
Top Gun.
That's weird. Yeah, I'll give you that. That's a bit weird. Or could it just be coincidence?
Come on, mate.
Is there no such thing as coincidence?
Come on. There's coincidence. Of course, there's coincidence. But how can these things keep being passed down by coincidences?
Yeah, but why? Hillary, I've heard nothing about Hillary since Trump won.
Because do they want you to hear all these things? They want you to think the sun shines out of these people's asses.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Come on, man.
Yeah, but you also make it out like there's the most demonic, evil beings who ever existed.
They're obviously they're not the most demonic, but they are quite up there. They are quite up there.
No, I'll give you that. One thing I did learn when I was younger, it was during like whether it was Hurricane Katrina or another hurricane or an earthquake that fucked up Haiti big time.
Yeah.
And I think it might have been during Bill Clinton's run of presidency, and they made their own charity to help the people of Haiti, and they literally kept all the proceeds. That's like, I swear that's a fact.
Don't care about no one.
Yeah, but I feel like that's most charities. That's most charities.
Yeah, most charities, I think.
They don't give a
feel
fuck.
that, like, from every pound, the actual.
They keep at least 50% of it.
No, the actual charity. I think it's even more, mate. I think the actual charity get like 29 pence.
So all those poor sods who sat outside Morrison's, Asda, Tesco's, who ask every single person who walks through those doors, like, you got a quid? You got a quid for our charity? They're wasting their time thinking they're doing a good deed, while the people sat in head queue just milking off the benefits.
Yeah, but it's like that time you said you had an argument with your mum, didn't you?
Yeah, that's true.
She
Yeah, I
wanted
did.
to, what was it?
Well, she wanted to become like a management within charities. And then she told me about their wages and all that. And I was like, you fucking what?
So you're going to be getting this much, but they can't send this much
Yeah,
over there
no.
their own money.
That's true. But then her reasoning was, well, if they didn't pay these people, these good qualified people, their charity would never be so good as it was.
To be so qualified to fucking get a charity, mate. Do you know how easy it is? Me and you right now could set up a GoFundMe. Can you please fund us so we can travel to UK?
But what about advertising? That's not cheap.
Sorry?
Advertising on TV, that's not cheap though, is it? Let's be real.
Especially
if you want prime time on BBC, ITV, Channel 4. That's not cheap.
I haven't much looked into that. Much advertising.
Well, it'd be safe to assume it's not cheap though, is it? Prime time.
Nah.
But then again, how much are these charities making? It can't be fucking 10 billion, can it? It's got to be... I don't know. The whole thing's weird. It's all human. Wherever humans are, there's fuckeries in.
And this is why I say people need to wake up.
What do you mean wake up though?
Repent.
Repent.
Repent. Wake up.
Repent. Slash yourselves.
Wake up.
To what?
Wake up and just stop, like you said before, questioning things. Questioning why
Yeah,
am I doing this? Why am I doing that? What? Because someone told me it's the right thing to do.
Yeah. Nah, yeah, you got me there. Give me that.
And he is silenced, but in a humane way.
But then if everyone started questioning everything, nothing would get done because it's like, why? People take things too far, don't they? And start sounding like a spoiled brat.
But when people take things too far against the wrong type of people, look what happens.
Yeah, they get silent. Yeah, but that's happened throughout all history, isn't it? That's what happens when you're the big boy.
It's just wrong, mate. It is wrong. And it's wrong how.
Yeah, Mark makes a good point. Just be careful what you are waking up to.
Yeah.
I just feel like it doesn't matter what timeline you lived in, as long as you have been a semi-decent person to people. You know what I mean? Like throwing stones at cripples and shit. You know what I mean? As long as you have been semi-decent, haven't robbed from your mum and dad or robbed from other people.
Do you know what? I can't hit here and say I'm the best human being in the world.
No human can, though, can they?
But I've done a lot for people.
Yeah.
Just as you have, just as anyone in this world probably has done a lot for other people. It doesn't mean what they're doing to do it is right, though. Like, say I was poorer than poor.
Yeah.
And I went out and I was like, oh, I robbed Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah.
So rob someone so I can support my family. In my mind, I'm doing the right things. I'm doing anything to support my family, provide for my family.
Yeah.
But in society's mind, that person's wrong.
Yeah, but why should you have the... Yeah, but...
Doesn't mean I have the right, if that's what you're about to say. No, I don't have the right to go outside and rob somebody.
Yeah.
I also don't have no right to do that. That person's worked hard to earn what they've got.
No, it's a tricky one. It's just a game of chess, isn't it?
And unfortunately, we were just all pawns in the government's chess game.
But it's always going to be like that. What other system can we replace it with? Can you think of one?
No, because like you said the other day, it's just a vicious cycle. If
It is
say,
true. It's
for
disgusting.
instance, say for instance, in some big fucking flip of the world, I managed to reveal all these things I speak about.
Yeah.
Fuller.
I need whiskey.
Oh, yeah. Say for instance, I managed to reveal all this stuff, like actually find proof of what I speak about, and done it. Like you said the other day, it'd just be a vicious cycle because then I'd be the person in power. So it'd basically be like I was a government.
And then you get drunk off it.
But like I said to you before, and again, I'll agree with what you said, no one knows until they're in that position what they do with that power.
Yeah, but it'd be ignorant to say that you wouldn't get drunk off it, because I know.
Well, of course I'd get drunk off it, I'd go out and I'd live my best life, but I, in myself, like I said to you, I would give a lot. I would give a lot.
A lot.
Yeah, I'd give a lot. I'd make sure everybody, there was none of this, people having to go rob people because they're poor, people having to go commit these crimes because they're poor.
But you're telling me no people rob other people just because they love the fact that they can rob other people? They get that superior complex on people.
There's reason behind it all.
Yeah, because some people are fucked up.
And with people like that, you put into rehabilitation.
Rehabilitate. What's that consist of?
Well, again, it'd be
What, just sat in a classroom going, this is right, this is wrong. And what were you like in class? We're like, no, fuck off. That's the problem with humans. Most humans think they know right from wrong, and that's it. No one can tell them different. The humans who think they know what is right and wrong, and then when they act on it, and then when someone questions them, instead of them getting all fucking arsey farty on it, they go, why? And they have a conversation. Those are the good humans, and actually try and understand how the other person will perceive what they do and is right or wrong, and counter it. Whereas a lot of humans, if you tell them they're doing wrong, no.
empathy.
You're just like, you're talking to a brick wall, and you're literally an NPC. You're not an actual human being, you're just an NPC.
Like a lot of people in this world.
A lot of them. But have you also spoke to a lot of the people in this world? No, I haven't.
I've spoken to a
And I
fair
quite
few.
like people. Not even a fraction of the population of this world.
I wouldn't like to either.
Yeah, because it go on for too long.
No,
It's giving me a headache just thinking about it. That's the problem. There's too many of us. As much as every human has the right to keep having children, yes, I grant that. But at some point, some humans got to realise, I'm just contributing to make it worse.
Right. So talking about overpopulation.
Yeah.
I saw this video earlier on, and I thought, okay, do you know what I'm going to say? Just to make you happy.
Oh,
It's not-
hello, Shannon.
Who?
Shannon Keane, hello.
That's my sister.
Is it? Hello, Shannon.
How's
Okay.
it spelled?
Shannon. Kenne.
That's my sister.
Oh, that's your sister.
Yeah. Well, you know, like my parents used to foster.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah, you
still-
got two.
she's still my family. I've got four.
Yeah, well, that's two right. But even if you're not blood related, it's still
That's
family,
still
isn't it?
my family.
Yeah, two right. I think every human has that.
It's
I got
like,
my auntie Win. I've probably got loads, mate.
love Auntie Win.
Yeah, got my auntie Carol.
Love Auntie Win. She used to terrify me when we were young.
And good, brother. I feel like most.
She used to terrify me. I just remember walking in there one time with my hood up and just getting yanked off my head and slapped on the back of my head, and she was like, "I'm Auntie Win, nice to meet you. I don't come in here wearing hoods." And I was like, "All right."
Bruv, so I think she's actually brought me to tears a couple of times from the stories of pure racism that she's dealt with.
I think I've sat there.
Literally,
So,
like-
so was one of our. Do you remember our music teacher?
Yeah, and then those stories aren't just because they said like a naughty word. It was just a damn right, just like just disgusting human way they treated some other people just because of their skin color. And that, and then when you listen to it and you hear the pain in their voice, you're like, yeah, that's true racism. It's pathetic.
Like I said before on the last podcast, okay, I tell some jokes
Yeah,
that of ethnicity.
yeah. But I also take the piss out of white people. I feel.
I'm not saying it to be hurtful. It's just because I found that joke funny.
Yeah,
I know other people out there won't find it funny, but I did.
I love it when black people take the piss out of white people because 80% of the time, bruv, a lot of it is true, and it cracks me right up.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
American white people when they
Oh.
take the piss out of. Like Eddie Murphy, yeah, back in his prime. And when he takes the piss out of white people, it is fucking accurate. And
not
Eddie
taking- it's not
Murphy
taking
in
the
his
piss,
prime is spot on of the Americans back in like the early 80s.
but it's not. Well, I see a thing about Eddie Murphy earlier on,
What was it?
and I felt so sorry for him when he first started off as a comedian. Yeah,
Yeah.
he used to have to send someone downstairs,
What do you mean?
like a white person downstairs, to wait for his taxi for him.
Oh, because no taxi will come up.
No taxi would pick up a young black man
Yeah, that's stupid.
like that. How upsetting must that be, though?
Yeah, no, that's stupid.
How much upsetting? Like, imagine that, like being turned away from getting a safe journey home.
Just because of your skin colour. Yeah, that's fucking stupid.
Like, good on Rosa Parks for standing up, mate.
Imagine if Rosa Parks never did. Imagine what timeline would be like now. We probably still. I don't think Britain would be as such as how it was in America.
Well, no, because like I've said to you before,
Yeah.
the first person to actually sell a black slave was the King of Africa.
No, but I think that's only when the British or the Europeans started colonizing most of the world. Slaves have been around since fucking Mesopotamia. You know what I mean? So we can never know who truly was the first person to ever be sold as a slave because humans, but we've been around for 200,000 years.
What really defines a slave, though?
I don't know, when you have full power over someone,
But so
like the government have over us.
so we're all slaves, really.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you still have the freedom to be able to go to your local Nisa to get a monster. Whereas the slaves that the Europeans had, the only choice you had is whatever the fucking master granted you to have.
Yeah.
They give us false hope in the modern age. They give the illusion of freedom, don't they? A taste of it. You could taste it on your
and
lips.
then-
Like how many pompous people out there who love buying expensive wine? They think this fucking makes them special. It's like, no, you're a twat.
yeah, I can go get the
Just get
exact
drunk.
I can
Just go get drunk.
An exact same tasting bottle from the shop
Yeah.
that was made this year.
Literally, grape juice that burns.
Oh, I paid £12,000 for this bottle back in 2003. Oh, that's nice. Have you drunk it yet? No.
It's just like a lot of people think the art sales is made for money laundering.
Mate,
A lot of fucked up shit.
Art is one of these things that do really baffle me. Like,
How so?
Don't get me wrong, Da
Like-
Vinci, Van Gogh and stuff, they
Yeah.
make some brilliant art pieces. But now, you could splash some paint on a piece of paper, sign it. Oh my God. I really see what he's trying to do there. Oh, I
Yeah.
can see within that splash of paint he's defining his life. And it's like, fuck off, it's a splash of paint.
But does that fall down upon as a person's opinion? They can think what they want.
Yeah.
So that just shows you the value of things. All just determines on whatever it is. If I told you this bottle of Coca-Cola was handmade by the cunt who fucking invented Coca-Cola, so I value it at £10 million, and you bought it,
There'd be an idiot out there would go, oh my God, I have to have that. I've got to put that in my collection.
like people who cook some toast and it turns out it looks like a bit like Jesus.
Oh, fuck me sideways. I can see Elvis in my toast. Fucking hell, can you? Because I see a bit of brown.
Oh! I can't believe you just triggered something in my brain because I saw something the other day. You know Elvis?
Yeah.
Yeah. His daughter went out with Michael Jackson for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Michael Jackson was best pals with Princess Diana. And they reckon all three of them are living together.
Are we really going to get into these things now?
A little bit.
You want to get into them?
Go on.
What? That was it? Okay, so I see a video earlier on.
Yeah.
People can go. If people who are listening, anyone, go fact check it. I've seen the video. I don't know if I'm allowed to play it in front of the webcam for you. It might be copyright,
Yeah, probably.
so I'll just explain it. So there's a rapper called Lil Nas.
Yeah.
You heard of him?
Yeah.
There's a video of him in an interview, and he's being asked, "What does he think of gay people?"
Wait, isn't he gay himself though?
Wait.
Yeah.
And in it, he says, "Well, when we was younger, we used to do these like little rituals. We'd
Right.
all go to this house, and we'd draw a star on the floor. There'd be cups of blood that we'd all drink from, and we'd all sit there and talk about how we could try and make everyone gay, so we could stop overpopulating the world." But then at the end of said interview, he realised what he said and tried to turn it into a joke.
What do you mean? How so?
He tried to turn it like he was just trying to joke around, but he'd accidentally revealed something. So basically trying to say he's in on something and that how to make everyone in the world gay so we could stop overpopulating.
Yeah, but I
To
feel
me,
like
that to me, like you said earlier on before we went live, oh, can't stand people who say maybe some things are bullshit. To me, that's bullshit. But I did screen record it so I could speak to you about it to see what your views on that are. Like, do you think there could be some truth behind that?
to a certain degree, maybe. Honestly,
Okay.
as I'm growing older, honestly, as a kid, I'll happily admit, as a kid, I hated gays.
Yeah,
Now,
I never
now as an
understand.
adult, honestly, but my favorite programs to watch is Big Bang Theory and Modern Family. I can have that shit on repeat. And my favorite couple on Modern Family are the gay couple, because honestly, most of the time they're happy. They'll also be very sarcastic, and who cares, bro? As long as you
Yeah,
love
I'm the
someone, and
same as you.
they adopt people, bro.
I'm the same as you. Like when I was younger, it really baffled me. It was
But
like,
I feel like we also grew up in that generation where our elders, I wouldn't say our parents, I don't think my dad didn't really honestly take the piss, but my grandparents, they did take the piss out of gay people. And as a kid,
'cause
my
back in that
highest
day-
model, was either my godmother or my granddad. And if my granddad said something, I'm fucking doing what my granddad said.
But back in that day, like, being gay was a fucking massive crime, man.
Yeah, it was silly. Also, your dad pointing out Diana had the King Arthur bloodline. That's why they needed her. But I've also heard theories.
Bringing Dad's coming out with his stuff now.
I heard theories that we're basically you know how people have been waiting for Jesus to come back, and that's when Armageddon's going to happen and fucking
Sorry
the
to
good
cut you
thing.
off, like,
Go on.
do you really believe?
Yeah.
Obviously, there's been this evidence found that there was someone called Jesus or Jesus back then.
Yeah, that's a fact.
But do you honestly believe that there was a man born with all these powers?
I don't know about powers as such. I need to see that myself, innit?
That
But imagine if he did.
if he did, and it does somehow magically evidence is like pure hard evidence, not just something they whipped up in their little right. We're going to tell them we found absolute evidence that this actually happened.
Yeah, but I feel like it falls under the same category as I visualize the Hindu history and culture.
You've always said though, haven't you, that
But yeah,
you
if you,
much more respect the Hindus and the Hindu.
yeah, because it's
gods
stand
and
against
stuff.
time, bruv. That's longer than Judaism and Christianity and Muslim. It's been there for longer, and you got to think of the perspective, the point of view of an individual who lived back then and saw the equivalent of a floating city. How would you describe that? If you all you could understand was, I've got a cow driving my cart. You know what I mean? The imagination back then weren't as vivid as we have it now.
That's very true.
Like Chinese dragons, they're always pictured as long, cylindrical with fire coming out at the end. What are our rockets look like nowadays? Long and cylindrical with fire coming out of one end. But as a primitive person back then, how can you put that into writing? Oh, a metal cylindrical object who had combustion engines. No, you couldn't.
Yeah, okay. We're saying that it's like in that
Go on.
art piece, wasn't it? Do you remember?
That
art piece where.
Is it of the Mary, Virgin Mary, in the background?
And in the background, there's like a UFO.
Yeah, with a bloke and his dog looking up at it.
Yeah.
And but for an art person to do that, they've had to witness that. William's middle name is Arthur. Break it down. Will I am Arthur. King Arthur is supposed to be sleeping and was known as the once and future king. What? Oh, okay. So,
Dad, you just give me tingles in places.
but I feel like people like to see signs and everything, because at one point, I wouldn't say I honestly believed it, but I was able to progress how I would say to other people that I was the third Antichrist. Because what's my initials? C or V. What's the country I was born in? Who was a proud president? The Church of fucking England. How many people with my last name? 36 people on this fucking planet. You know what I mean? You can find narratives in anything and make you feel special. I always felt like. But I have this conversation with your mum. I remember as a kid, I used to cry when I used to rip up a tissue because I just felt like this tree just wasted its life just so I can, at the moment, potentially could blow my nose or just rip it up. It's a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I probably just sound like a pure crackhead just then.
No, but there are. It's like this can of monster sat in front of me.
Oh, yeah.
Like fucking M's never touch because in the Sikh language or something, the M's or hieroglyphics they symbolise 666.
Mark made a good point. It's your story, Connor. Yeah, I appreciate that, Mark. It's everyone's, yeah.
What did he say?
It's your story, Connor. Dun dun dun. You're all NPCs in my life. It's like playing Skyrim.
We are. In theory, we could all be a giant video game, couldn't we?
Yeah.
Like, have you ever thought about that? How do you know you're not an avatar or character?
Because I have the choice of smashing this glass over your head or not right now, but I don't.
Have you? Have
Well,
you got that choice?
The
Or is
voices
it-
in my head tell me I can.
Have you, or is it someone controlling you?
But then how
So-
can the voices in my head tell me to be doing that, but I'm not simultaneously not doing that?
Because that's the choices you're being given within the game.
But then how would the game know if the person who's controlling me could have the opportunity of doing that and they're not doing that? You know?
That's like any game we play. There's always the choice. Of
Nah.
Like when I play Skyrim, I have the choice to attack the guards that I know I cannot kill, and that's fuck my whole
Nah,
game.
there's-
It saves that point.
Nah, there's only one thing in Skyrim you can't kill, and that's children. And in this life, that's bullshit because a lot of kids have been killed by grown-ups because of power complex.
Very true. That's very true.
And Skyrim, the people who made Skyrim made a point of that. They didn't want to encourage that.
But there are characters in Skyrim that you cannot kill.
Yeah, but yeah, because you want to drive the story, don't it? You tell me there's people like that in life?
Go on.
There's just people you can't kill until
Yeah.
their story's done.
Yeah.
But then that means everything's predetermined.
How do you know? How do you know it's not?
To a certain degree, but I also like.
Oh, but then that's basically saying the thing of.
But I like to
destiny.
think the universe can adapt. So the universe will maybe want to have something to happen along this line, but if something happens in the meantime because of free choice, it can adapt and progress.
That's like saying destiny, isn't it?
A little bit.
Like, oh, well, this is your destiny. So
But I feel like people who believe in destiny truly are just drunk in love. It's like when people fall in love for the first time, they think it's pure destiny. You're like, nah. You just think she's fit.
you can always change your destiny.
Well, it's not destiny then, is it? If you can change it.
You can always.
If it's not predetermined.
That's the point I was trying to make, isn't it? Like if
Yeah.
I'm agreeing to things being able to be determined, I'm basically saying I believe in that's your destiny. You can't do nothing about it.
Nah, I feel that, mate. That's a good point.
But right, I've got a question for you then.
But what about if the game that we're living in
Mm.
is so fucking well created that they
Well, it's
created
like a-
free will,
It's like a
and they're just watching us. We're like a big version of Big Brother, but instead of stuck in one little house in Bournemouth, it's on a whole planet.
It's like I said to you before, isn't it? Like there's that theory that we could. Well, I don't say a fucking theory. It's just a funny meme, mate.
Yeah, go on.
But it could be a theory. Obviously, people out there will make it a theory. Oh, we're all in a glass jar and we're in an extraterrestrial science project. I got a fucking B- or B+ or whatever.
Yeah, and we're stuck on the shelf now until the
Yeah.
end of time. Yeah, but that falls under the Fermi paradox.
Hey, fucking what?
A Fermi paradox is like a collective of different theories on why we can't find aliens. So, like, one can be like,
Oh, fuck me sideways.
go on.
Sorry to interrupt you
That's all right.
again. But I actually see a post today and it really messed with my mind.
Go on. Is there a...
There's a society out there that believe the reason we can't find extraterrestrial, I'm not going to say extraterrestrial, I'm going to
Yeah.
say aliens,
Yeah.
is because we don't belong here.
What do you mean?
We're the aliens.
Well, of course.
We're the aliens.
What do
and
you mean? What, on this planet or?
In this planet.
Yeah, that's a theory that we came from Mars, bro. That's why this.
Yeah, and because now NASA have turned around and said that Mars could have once been like Earth.
Yeah.
Before it turned into this barren hell.
And the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs is
us.
us. Yeah, I've seen that.
UFO. And how do we know that asteroid ain't the thing the artist depicted in that picture on the Virgin Mary?
Because the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs happened like 65 million years.
But that's what we've always been fucking brought up to believe.
I could maybe believe it if the asteroid that came down, that was us,
I
that
think
killed the
that's
dinosaurs,
exactly
and then it was stuck into the crust of the human, onto the planet, and we just laid dormant for millions of years. Maybe I could believe that.
What?
But I swear, but NASA has proven there's microorganisms like the space bear or space bug
On
that can survive the harshness of the void that is space. So it can be fully exposed to the vacuum of space and it still live. Doesn't lay dormant, it lives. So how do we know we didn't come from an asteroid like that?
and that we evolved from that bacteria or whatever it is.
Ooh, okay.
Because what's that theory thingy? We was a bacteria that then suddenly become a fish. That suddenly.
Well, no, but he didn't just suddenly though, innit? It took
Obviously not
fucking
suddenly, it took
progression.
millions of years. Like,
You need to play the game Spore, bruv. That's the best way of teaching fucking. That's what they should be teaching kids in primary school, playing Spore.
what they should be teaching kids in school
Oh yeah, go on.
is to not always believe everything you're told.
But most kids who are primary schools, they believe everything of authority, don't they?
But even in secondary schools, we're told, yeah, believe this because we're telling you and we get it from a book because we've learned it. But you're just
And
anyone's just learning anything.
Yeah. What they should teach kids in the school is maybe, I don't know, it's a weird one. Don't accept everything as face value. There's some things you should.
Yeah, that's one of your favourite sayings.
But most kids, especially me as a kid, I just like to question everything because I was a smart ass.
Now as you've got older, you've realised, hang on.
No,
this is for a reason.
if anything, I'm a better smart ass because I don't act all high and mighty. I try to understand where you're coming from.
And that's that UFO thing.
Yeah.
It's like we've always been fucking things to believe. Area 51, or what is it you called it the other day? When I said Area 51, you called it something else. You called it Area 9 or something?
No, I call it Las Santos.
No, you called it something else when I messaged you the other day about it.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, you called it something else. You mean Area so-and-so?
Nah.
See if I can find it.
Like Mark says, good teachers should open doors. And he makes a good point because look at our science teacher. He taught us fuck all about science. But he made us, I don't know, the stories he told us about him in the Marines.
Area 49.
Area 49. I don't remember telling you that.
Yeah, I said so.
Oh, sorry, I'm getting attacked by my cat right now.
Yeah, because I
Literally viciously.
I messaged you last night. And you went, oh yeah. I went, so obviously we've all heard of Area 51. And you said, you mean Area 49?
I'll probably say that in his piss take.
But there's that other one, isn't there? That's
Is there?
recently come to light in New Mexico.
Oh, okay, okay.
The Dulce underground base,
There's loads of weird ones, aren't there?
where people have seen like cows that have been like mutilated and found creatures inside of them.
Yeah, that's Skywalker Ranch, isn't it? I vividly remember that because Skywalker, Star Wars, it's fucking great. But I swear that's a proper big thing. The truth is out there. Have you watched the X-Files?
No, I can't say. I think. Do you know what I'm going to say, Chuck? When I was a kid,
Yeah.
it always used to come up like on telly and stuff. I'd be like,
Really? I never had that. Well, for all my life, I always wanted to watch it, but I was scared because of how old it is that it would just annoy me of the quality of it.
they're the best things now.
Nah, I don't think I don't.
They're the best things now.
Unless, for me, I've only season 5 of X-Files, and unless it's involving aliens, I'm not interested in it. I just don't give a fuck.
But what defines an alien? Because people fucking
Not humans.
People call Mexicans aliens, didn't they?
Yeah, that's because they have their own weird terminology for things, isn't it?
Well, it goes back to fucking racism.
Yeah, no, you got me there. Which is silly.
But
But have you also noticed they changed the terminology of aliens? It used to be always UFO, now it's UAP, unidentified aerial phenomenon. Yeah.
no.
And Hilly, I swear, but Hilly spoke about it on live, like on Jimmy Kimmel or some shit. They change the terminology all the time to distract people.
Well, it's like ISS. You know, you can watch the live view.
Yeah, I like watching them.
And
Yeah, but I feel like some of them.
randomly,
Oh yeah.
you'll see something come on screen. Oh, we're suffering outage. 2 minutes later, it's back on.
Yeah, but there could be no.
Or what about that time we stood in your mum's back garden
Oh yeah.
after smoking a joint and looking up at the sky?
I feel like I'm being told off now. I'm a grown ass man, but I feel the fact that I know your dad's listening, I feel like, ooh.
But we see them start like. Well, we thought the stars were just.
Probably not just to start. The fog just came out of nowhere, and we were sat on the swings.
No, not that time.
Oh, okay.
Not that time when we. Was...
Oh, I think that time after we watched.
Oh no, that was fucking. That was very fucking strange.
It was weird.
Very strange. Like, no, and that one even after Jordan, that was sneaking into your back garden to led onto a park for a sneaky fag.
Yeah.
Because no one knew we smoked at the time. And it was like.
As it should be.
Thinking we're hard, like sitting on the swings having a fag at like 1 a.m. and go after watch it, and then going to watch Fourth Kind. Then we're like, fuck it, should we go for a walk and a fag? And yeah, go on then. And the fog. Just randomly, like you
literally, it was like from a movie. The way it just come out, cliche.
Like we went out the door and it wasn't there,
Sat on
within
the swing.
a second.
Ha ha ha.
It just appeared.
Literally, it was almost cliche. And honestly, I've never known anything like it.
And then that woman up in our window.
Yeah, staring.
But no, not that time. When it was at your mum's, your first new house when you moved.
Oh yeah.
And we was in the back garden looking up, and you called me and was like, "Bro, look up in the sky."
But every time I went out for a fag, that would happen. And they
and
wouldn't.
It weren't like moving.
Just one
like,
direction.
Straight line, so it couldn't be. It weren't like satellites. It was
Yeah.
like going zip, 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 and we was just both there like,
Brother, this
"What's going on?"
is what makes me sad living where I am now, bro, because I don't have like the exposed airspace like I did back then.
I've seen it in other places.
Yeah, I know, but that spot in my last place was amazing. I almost had like a 360 angle for the whole space above me. And weird things you can see, because I feel like most humans don't like to look up. And if they did, they only look up for like 2 minutes and go, "Oh, look, the moon's nice." But I mean, you sit out there for a good hour and a half and just watch.
Well, I'm not going to mention the people we were with,
Yeah.
but it's like that time when we went out for a drive.
Oh,
with
yeah.
my nan's.
Yeah.
And when we come back, 2 people were like, "The fuck is that in the window?" But me and you couldn't see nothing, and
Yeah.
it weren't like they was joking because you could see the pure terror in their face.
Well, they're just playing along with it.
But then remember when I got out of the car and I was like, Connor, there's fucking something green falling through the sky. And,
Oh, yeah. But
he was like,
I never actually saw that with my own eyes.
and then when
No.
I went and searched on the internet, it was spotted everywhere.
Yeah, that was a weird
was
one.
spotted
I remember
everywhere.
that.
Like, things happen all the time, but they try to distract us with these fucking bullshit news stories of Jesus found on toast.
Yeah, but if there was truly,
Banksy,
if there was
that's
truly
Banksy.
like an alien super race who had the technology to travel from one star to another galaxy to another fucking galaxy, why would they be playing these little petty politics games with the governments of the human race? Why wouldn't they just come straight down and go, "Here we are, cooey"?
They came years ago.
And what? And the humans told them to fuck off.
They came years ago, and we formed an alliance with them.
A lie. What alliance could they gain from us? What,
Because
gold
there was a
mining?
fight in the Dolce thing, this is the theory.
Yeah.
Because the person who worked on the landscaping there, who like dug down to create the base,
Yeah.
they turned around and said they dug down, him and his team down, and they come across extraterrestrials, and their description of them were long, grey, large heads, and the man.
Yeah, they're the greys, isn't it?
The greys, yeah. Like the first extraterrestrials to be discovered or met.
There's a theory that they're not actual living beings. They're just like synthetic robots that the beings who control them back on their home planet are controlling.
Hive minds, yeah.
Yeah.
That they had a fort down there that day.
Yeah.
They lost some, we lost some, and eventually formed an alliance. And that's how we've got all this technology.
Yeah, but I've always understood. I know humans do war good. We fucking do war good. Just whether you're European, Asian, fucking American, South American, African, we do war good. We know how to do it.
Is that always a good thing?
No, but I feel like maybe to an alien race who have come to an understanding that life should be peaceful, and so they do harbage that way of living. When they came here, we fucked them up a bit.
But then it comes
just with regards to their technology more advanced.
No, not technology. So going back to
yeah, but people, all wars are won by technology near enough, unless you're true guerrilla warfare, innit?
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Their wars
most wars have been won because one side had a better technology and we fucked you up. Like in World War II, we cracked the Enigma code and we was able to manipulate it.
I see something about the World War II. Yeah, it might be World War One or World War II earlier on.
Go on, what was that?
So Germany tried to fool us.
Yeah.
Built a fake battle station made out of wood.
Okay.
Wooden tanks, wooden.
I know we did that.
No,
on the Battle of Somme, bruv. We had like blow up tanks, bruv.
No,
made out of balloons.
They built the Germans
just
built it all out of wood to try and trick us.
Okay.
Britain found out, and
we played along with it.
The same day, dropped a bomb.
Yeah.
A wooden bomb. Just to fuck with them.
And of course, they would have gone over to see the blast zone and like, oh, it's made out of wood.
And they would have been like, oh.
that
just shows the fuckery.
He's like, we know you trying to fake us, bitch.
That just shows the fuckeries of what British Empire is just like.
But what also don't get taught much though is as much as the Blitz, every person in Britain gets taught about the Brits. The
Oh, the
Blitz.
London thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no one really gets taught about how much we fucking bombed Berlin afterwards. We were resilient, but we went on hammer on them. I don't get taught much about that.
No, of course we don't, because
Which is silly.
it's just brutal retaliation, isn't it?
Yeah, but can you?
You can't blame them, no, because if you've done it to us, then do you know what? Fuck you. Simple as that.
This is where war is a bit silly sometimes.
Okay, but let's go back to what I was saying. Oh, bollocks. So it's back to the whole finding this alien situation, yeah?
Yeah.
Goes back to what if them greys they found
Yeah.
were them extraterrestrials that come down on that
Yeah.
asteroid. So they were here originally, and we came across them.
No, wait, no, I'm confused now. What do you mean? So who was here first?
The
Greys, right? And then we came on the asteroid.
No, the greys came on the asteroid.
Okay, yeah.
And we, digging down, these people digging down, come across them and disturb the peace.
No, I'm not even just saying this to wind you up to try and be a counter. I'm honestly confused now.
So, like you said earlier on, we as humans love to disturb the peace. We love to do fuck
big time. Oh, okay, no, I think I'm with you. No, so they came on an asteroid, got themselves embedded into the Earth's like crust or core.
Making their own civilization.
Oh, okay.
And then.
No, okay. I'm
like these other.
Yeah, I'm visualizing it now. Different. Yeah, no, I'm with you now.
These other bacterial evolutions.
Yeah. No, okay, I'm with you. Maybe.
What have we like to do?
We won't know, will we? That's the fucking annoying thing, isn't it?
Since mankind's been around, fucking try to prove we're the biggest and the hardest since caveman.
And by the looks of it,
I could beat fucking bear with fucking club. I could beat saber.
Yeah, but even if evolution is truly real and we evolved from apes know how to do war as well, bruv. They turn cannibalistic. You know what I mean, bruv? They're fucked up, bruv. And so even if we're 10% related to them,
I know
we're fucking.
Despise is a big word. I hate and despise people who say animals of the ape kind or chimp kind.
What do you mean?
You know, like apes
and
stuff are not intelligent creatures.
Oh, they're not.
They are.
Some people argue that they're in the Stone Age right now because some of them have learned not of their own accord, but witnessing humans doing fishing, and they do it with their own sticks.
Orangutans.
Yeah.
Orangutans.
I fucking love orangutans. They actually melt my heart.
Orangutans, fucking.
Oh, Mark says the Greys own Chillenden Castle.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Dad, please explain it, because this is why I've never explained.
Is that why you guys keep going there? Because you're drones of the Greys?
Dad, please explain. This is why.
What do you mean they own it?
I've never been able to explain the reason behind our tattoos. Everyone just laughs at me and says, "Oh, we got an alien."
No. I think what people laugh at you, I can't speak of them, is that you got an alien on your hand there, but a fucking cross behind your ear.
Same as all my family.
Yeah, I'm not disputing that. It's just most people who most grow up, most interact with most humans, they either believe in aliens and become atheists, or the devout fucking religious fuck nuggets.
Our ears represent something completely different.
Which is fair enough. I'm not disputing that. But most people, when they see that, they only know what their understanding is, isn't it?
Okay, well, hopefully my dad will explain.
So if they see a cross, they think they're a follower of Christ. Regardless if you're Methodist, Mormon, fucking Protestant, Catholic.
Do you want that happen with my cross?
We were married by the Greys. What? You're no. This is getting late now. What do you mean you were married by the Greys? That's what Mark's saying.
You just wait till you hear the story behind it. If that can be bothered to type it, or you.
No, but I feel like this for Mark it'd be too long to type
what
out.
to my mum and dad?
Go on then. Yeah, I've heard some of your stories of your mum. It actually blew my mind. Some of your stories of your mum, like astral projection.
The video footage.
Yeah.
Of my mum and dad's wedding.
Yeah.
No such thing.
What do you mean?
It's gone.
Who lost it?
It's disappeared.
Who was in charge of it?
Cameraman.
Who was the cameraman? Who was the cameraman?
Just ask my dad.
What do you mean? Ask you that. Who was the cameraman? What's just some random twat you hired?
Dad, go into the story on the comments.
Yeah, but I feel like this might be too long for your dad to type out, isn't it?
My dad will get into it. Oh, mate, it hurts my head.
I vaguely remember the last time I spoke to your mum and dad about this.
People who performed music as well, like they weren't actually meant to be there.
What do you mean? Oh, well, like it's an illusion. Like you stepped in your time frame. Sorry, right now we're getting distracted. All three of my cats are attacking each other. They're going on a mad one.
Great distractors.
You're the great distractor. Your mum was right on that.
But I'm not. I used to be, yeah, but now look at me. I'm going just as deep into it.
No.
And do you know who would be another interesting person to speak with?
Wait, Mark's pointing out the cameraman. I'm assuming he was a grey as well.
Yeah.
Oh fucking hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like once again, this.
Sky News
Yeah.
turned up at Chillingham after, you know, our friend who passed away. The Scottish
Yeah. Yeah.
Sky News turned up there because of something he had done.
What, the
That's all
cameraman?
that's
The
all I-
cameraman.
No. After
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, but I feel like I remember having this conversation once with your mum and dad, sat in your guys' kitchen, because I was going for like a weird stage of my life, and that's why I asked you, can I come round to your guys' house to speak to your mum and dad about certain things I felt in my life? I don't know, it's one of those things where you feel like you have to be there, isn't it? Like, don't get me wrong, you can hear the truth in people's voices, which a lot of the time you can.
Yeah.
And I'm not doubting your mum and dad. I just wish, if anything, maybe then it's probably just envy,
You wish
not
you were
jealous.
there.
Yeah, not jealousy, just pure envy that I wish I experienced that.
Do you know who'd be another interesting person for you to speak to?
Go on,
My cousin Robert.
Robert.
My cousin.
Yeah.
The conversations I've sat in and heard him and my dad have
Yeah,
are just mind blowing.
I want that.
I think me and you have fucking mind blowing conversations a lot, but
Yeah.
this is on a different level, mate.
Mark saying they all had the name Gray as surnames, as did the fellow who sold us the rings and the caterers. Well, yeah, that's a bit weird. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And the footage to the wedding.
What I have to ask though for your parents though, at the time while you're planning your wedding, you're all excited. At the time when you was doing it, especially like 48 hours before the actual day, did you think, go, hold on, they're all fucking greys? What's this all about? Or was it just because the fact that it's your wedding day that you didn't see it until afterwards?
No, I think if I remember rightly, I don't want to say anything wrong.
Yeah.
I think the day, but it was before the wedding, they noticed it all and they was like,
Okay,
okay, this is fucking
well,
weird.
actually, I like that. I like that.
Like, and it's like there's been other weird things happening there, like before. Did you say something?
Just a coincidence? Question mark.
Good one, Dad.
No, I felt.
But like we found my mum's initials engraved.
What, maiden or married?
Married before my mum and dad was even married.
Well, that could just be dumb luck, though. Surely. I'm not even just saying it. Just be counted.
But my mum and dad had been there before, and it
Oh
wasn't there.
yeah, I suppose yeah. But
I think that was the story I got told anyway.
yeah.
But Dad, correct me if I'm wrong.
No, we saw it. Just couldn't do nothing about it. Oh
Yeah.
shit. Oh shit. What, they all spelt the same, Grey, like the Grey, not Gray, trying to fucking mix it up between American English and actual fucking
Mate,
English.
It's weird, isn't it? Like, how weird is that?
I feel, yeah, that is fucking weird.
You look
Like I
at
say,
that,
I'm
like,
not jealous, because jealous brings out the nasty in people. I'm envious. I wish I experienced that.
Envy is a sin.
Is it envy? I thought envy is just like, oh,
No, envy is one of the seven sins, isn't it?
no, yeah, Mark's correct. Yeah, he said all grey spelled with Grey.
Yeah.
That's weird. That'll
Yeah.
freak me out. But that sounds like you guys sound like the people who sort of, I wouldn't say encourage it, but embrace it. You're like, fuck it.
Why shouldn't you embrace these things?
Fuck, brother, some alien fucking entities were trying to poach in on my wedding. I'm like, well, just talk to me like a normal cunt. Surely. Why are you being all secretive about it, like the Men in Black?
Because look, do you really think us as human beings, the way we are ready to deal with seeing an actual alien in front of us?
I've been waiting for it for a long time.
Okay, you may be
Fully, I'm not just
mean
mean that
because
because.
happens, you're going to stand there and you're going to be like,
Oh no, but I honestly believe it will unite us. I honestly believe it.
what, you think you'd run up to that thing and give it a hug and be like,
No, I wouldn't run up.
Mate,
I don't even do it to people I love, bruv. So why not do it to aliens? What I mean is, I think it would unite all of us to stop all this petal rivalness. That I'm Vietnamese. Oh, I'm fucking Colombian. We all be like, no, we're all fucking humans. We're one. These greys don't associate themselves with House fucking Lannister. No, they're just the greys, bruv. They're just one.
House grey, house blue.
House blue, house grey.
No, do you know what? I'm not going to take the piss out of the greys because I believe in all that stuff. But
Just
I'm glad you now see like the meaning behind the tattoos and that.
it makes me want to get one. I want to be part of this.
If you want to get one, you get one though.
Like full on envious.
Like, it's like, but yeah, okay.
Mind boggling.
Just go back to, like I was saying, my mum's initials, married initials,
What engraved into what though?
into stone in the courtyard
Oh shit!
of
Yeah,
this
but
castle
then
before they got married, before they was even planning.
yeah, but I'm thinking of someone who's trying to think outside the box. Who's to say your mum and dad didn't do that?
They got
Just to
it.
prove a point. I'm not saying that to be counter.
No, I don't mean like engraved, like, mate. I mean like, you know when you could tell something's been there for
Yeah.
fucking like centuries.
Well, you tell me, so no human in history has had the same 3-letter initials until your mum and dad arrived.
It's just weird. It's weird.
Yeah, but is
It
that,
was before my mum and dad were. I think it was before they was even planning to get married there,
okay.
and that they weren't there before.
And that's why they felt that connection there.
It's just like, no,
Okay,
I
I'm with
obviously felt a connection like when they went up there. Just like, mate, it is a.
Mark saying the video disappeared for 2 years, nothing else taken, like camera, lights, etc. Just the video. Returned anonymously to Castle 2 years later. Ooh, heavily edited. Ooh, what? Ooh, fuck. That makes me like goosebumps a little bit there. What was it in VHS or CD there, Mark? Because that's. Ooh.
Honestly, I'm telling you.
But does that not anger you? Maybe not for you yourself, but for like your dad, like knowing that some cunt there recorded it. I need to piss.
Well, I'm just going to entertain you for a moment whilst Belgarath goes and empties his bladder. But Dad, if you could reveal some more of this stuff, because it's making an interesting topic of conversation. I've been trying to explain this stuff to years for people and just getting told, nah, just shut up, you don't know what you're on about, you don't know what you're on about, I need to hear it come from the horse's mouth. Because it's interesting stuff. It's very interesting stuff. And the castle is a mind-opening place to go. Like, there's so many more interesting stories from there. That could be told. And once Belgarath's back from the toilet, I'll try go into some more of them. And Dad, obviously, you can correct me if I'm wrong, because obviously you was there present at them all. And here he comes. Alright, you ready to have your mind blown some more?
Welcome, mate.
Okay.
Wait, you think your dad replied? No, he didn't. Nah, not really. Just got to roll with it. That's fair enough.
Like you said, so you went to the toilet.
Yeah.
It doesn't anger me as such.
Yeah, but should it anger you though? You're just a son. This ain't your wedding day.
As a child, I didn't really understand any of it, did I? It was just like.
I suppose. Yeah.
It's just one of the things that happen. But now, as you get older, it's like.
Hold on,
my
go on,
family really have something going on here, and I believe that's why certain people have been brought into my life.
But like who?
Like our rest in peace, our dear Scottish friend. He was brought into my life for a reason, and I believe he was brought into our family's life for a very good reason.
That's fair. Okay, I'll see that.
Because he even as a young child, like
He was a gentle soul as well, though, isn't he?
Mate, even as a young child, barely knowing me, he was doing so many things with like. Like I think I'd only met him a few times, and he was bringing me stuff around that he found out that I liked.
Like Pokemon. I remember that. He brought you loads of Pokemon. Oh, you get I swear it's Pokemon.
And he brought me like thousands of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's a good soul, that.
And he used to take like Kelsey or Vinny to like the St. Albans Ferrelium.
Was that the Roman thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can never pronounce that. Me and my dad, we want to go for years.
Ferrelium?
Yeah, I won't even try and pronounce it. Your dad, Mark's replied, still don't really know the significance of it yet, to be honest. Do know we were being used, though. What, like, as if... I don't know, I have like 50 questions popping in my head, like what users...
Dad, am I right in saying there was a thing about time stopping up there as well?
Well, I remember...
About the horse incident. I'm not sure if I know it too well to speak about it. Like if you go into it, there was something to do with a horse.
Well, the sounding of the horse, wasn't it?
What do you remember what I'm on about?
Well, I vaguely remember this one conversation I had with your mum and your dad in the kitchen.
Know about this, yeah.
Yeah.
Then you're weird.
Why?
because I've never had this conversation with you.
No, but you was there when your mum and dad had that conversation with me. But at the time, you would have been the what? The great distractor.
Yeah.
Your mum and dad were having a conversation with me because I was in a weird time in my life where I was questioning everything, and your mum and dad helped me with understanding certain things. It's where your mum agreed what we both had in us once in our lives, cried over ripping up a bloody tissue, bro. Because we felt sad that that tree spent its life growing just for some snot-nosed brat like me to rip it up.
It's just, yeah, but
Yeah, but I swear your mum told me a story where your friend who died, I want to say he guided her onto like I wouldn't say astral protection,
astral projection.
but it was something different. Like your mum said, she was sat outside of the castle having a fag, and he just got her to close her eyes, and she was hearing loads of weird things. That's what I vividly remember your mum telling me, whether that's fact or right. Mark replied, "Do we know we were being used though?" So I don't know. But that's weird though, isn't it?
See what I mean? Like, you know, I always try to say to you, "Oh, weird things happen in family." You're like, "Nah." I'm telling you, weird things happen. Well, not weird. It's great in some sense, but other people see it as weird. You're just a freaky family because your parents. That's what always I got taken this out of school. Oh, your family have all nights and castles stuff. How weird.
But let's be real though. Who doesn't like nights though? You have to be retarded.
And I'm not gonna lie, I never did as a kid because I always used to have the shit ripped out of me. As I've grown older, I see the significance in the places my dad has taken me.
That's good though.
And I'd love to go to these places with you because strange things happen at that castle, but like you fucking become one within yourself.
I'd love that. Well, especially high as well, yeah?
Nah.
No, you don't even need to be high for it. But surely if you were high, you would project yourself on a different dimension and then imagine taking DMT up there.
I think
it'd be well changing, surely.
I'm also right there, correct me. There was a story about what happened in the woods up there as well or something.
Yeah. Oh.
I can't remember what the exact story is, but there was something in the woods and it weren't even my uncle or anything, but it looked like my uncle.
What, like like an echo of him?
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah, that's weird.
My uncle was like right next to him at the time.
What? So he saw himself as an echo as well?
I can't remember what it was.
Okay.
I can't remember what it was, just weird things like there's a thing there called the Devil's.
I want to go, bruv. I've been waiting all my life to see this shit. The only weird, true shit I've seen in my life is either two things, yeah. The stuff that I've seen on the night sky, and is when I was living at your nan's, and I woke up one night with a massive, massive shadow over me, just looking at me, and I remember just looking at it in a half daisy sleep, going, "Okay, well, that's different." And then falling back to sleep. Next day, asking me, he was like, "Louis, your granddad, how big was he?"
6'7".
And I was like, and before then, I didn't even know how big your granddad is.
6'7", 23 stone.
And I told you about it.
Hands like shovels.
Literally. It felt like that night he was looking down at me going, "Who's this twat who's fucking living here?"
He lives in my house.
Well, I can't blame him.
But I remember sitting downstairs in my nan's front room.
Yeah.
With my nan, my auntie. I can't remember if it was Alex or Barbara Ann.
It's neither of them.
It was one of them. And they had a family friend called Lynn.
Yeah.
And do you remember when that really good Sony Ericsson phone came out with a new camera, like the first ever 3GB camera or whatever it was? You know, the 3 megapixel camera.
Oh, good night, Mark. Have a good one. Yeah, he's off.
Yeah, because look, because the stuff I'm bringing up.
Yeah.
It's too late to get into that sort of stuff, man.
I feel that. He's got to get up early, isn't it? It's Monday morning.
What's time?
It's 10:30.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
What's that?
We've still got someone else in the chat, though.
My sister.
I believe, hope it is Shannon. Shout out to Shannon. Listen to his nitwits chatting on bullshit.
But yeah, okay, so you remember like when the first ever 3 megapixel camera phone came out and everyone's like,
yeah, vaguely, yeah.
So I was using it to take pictures around my nan's front room.
Yeah.
And mate, the things that were coming up. Have you ever seen an orb?
Yeah, in the background
like,
pictures,
like
yeah.
a spirit in a spherical form.
Yeah, or was it just random dust in the picture?
Listen to this.
Yeah.
And it was seeing orbs and took this picture over, like, obviously you remember the layout of my nan's.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Room, and then that other bit behind.
Yeah.
Up, so it was like a big front room. We took a picture of the chandelier up there. Big orb. See this giant one.
Okay.
And if you turn it one way, it was a baby.
Huh?
There was a baby's face. But if you turn it the other
Whose
way,
baby face was a generic baby looking motherfucker?
I can't. I'm trying to remember.
Because if it's someone of your family, that'd be fucking.
I'm trying to remember if someone fell pregnant shortly after that.
Your mum, probably.
Nah. And then if you turn it the other way, it's my granddad's face, and I don't mean like where you know, like you see like.
I felt my stomach go a bit
Like
then.
you see like eyes and that. You're like, oh, that
Yeah.
looks like so. I mean, it had all of my granddad's features.
What the
It
fuck?
had his ears, it had his nose, his mouth, his
Eee.
eyes. But it was just strange how you turn it the other way, and it was a crying baby. If you turn the picture that way, so if you turn it right,
Yeah.
so it was like talk,
Well, like he's been like regenerated into like a new soul.
and then, I don't know, but then if you turn it like clockwise, if you turn it counterclockwise, it was a baby.
Yeah.
If you turn it clockwise, it was the exact spitting image of my granddad's face.
Oh, that's weird. It just makes me want to bring up pictures just to see it.
It's on that Sony Ericsson phone. And
Okay, I'm with you.
Oh, and here's a strange thing when that happened after that.
Go on. You fell pregnant.
When I was like fucking 12.
Oh shit. I didn't stop you.
And what happened after that? The morning after?
Go on.
Picture was gone.
Huh?
No other picture that me and that Linda taken that night had gone.
Who else saw it?
My Barbie, because it was Barbie Alex, because they screamed. It was like,
What?
oh my god.
That's what?
Someone commented.
No.
Yeah, that's strange, isn't it? That was the only photo
That makes me want to get your aunties on.
That was the only photo that's gone.
That's weird. Do you reckon anything weird happens still in that house?
100%. I'm like, again, I'm not going to bring up people, but
Yeah.
like that time I was on headset to you, and like,
Yeah, but that was years ago.
but like
I know of 3 people who live in that house now, isn't it?
like 2 in the morning, but on the phone to you.
Yeah, but
Somebody
you need to
said
call
person-
up the person who lives there and see if anything weird still happens. Or is it just because there are certain people there who encourage it? Because when I was living there, I went out my way to encourage it, didn't I? But I wouldn't be shouting shit whenever something
no,
weird
you was
happened.
You was never disrespectful.
Nah, but I would encourage it. Like, you would never open the door. But if I was sat near the door when it was happening, straight up, I was right there.
Yeah, because that stuff like that.
Because I was waiting for
I
it.
know it was only like 2-3 years ago, so I was still like old enough. To, stuff like that still terrified me at that time. So I was still confused within it. Like, I was still jumping back and forth with whether I believed in that sort of stuff or not.
I think if it was
I
at the
think-
same
yeah,
lines.
Do you know what I think still took relief for me?
Go on.
Was when I had my brother and my son there.
Oh, yeah. That'd terrify any parent, though, wouldn't
And
it?
we was downstairs, and the chair, my great granddad's chair, was going up and down by itself.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, one of them's pissing around with the remote, but both remotes were there in front of us.
Yeah, because that's electronics, though. It's old.
And then, I went to bed, and my son slept in his own room up there. Like, you know the room you used to live in?
Yeah.
My son used to go in there, and my brother in there with him. And at like 3 a.m.
3 a.m. The Twilight Zone.
Like 3 a.m. My brother come into me with my son.
Yeah.
My son never ever had a problem sleeping in that room by himself.
So it's when your brother was sleeping with your
My
son.
brother was there because it was like it was someone new in the house who hadn't slept there before.
Okay.
Coming to me, and I just remember pushing down something, going, "Daddy, please wake up!" So I woke up, and there was my brother going.
Nah, but I vividly remember, not vaguely, as I was about to say, but your brother used to come stay with you a lot because it was a good way of getting your brother out of the house.
No, because he weren't going through his problems then.
Okay.
He weren't going through his problems then. So he come in there, and they were like, "Oh, well, my son just went and got him. Oh."
The cats are another terrorized.
Went and got on his spot that he would usually in the bed
Yeah.
because he was used to that sort of stuff. Like, and we'll go into a story about that in a minute.
Okay.
My brother wasn't, and he was like, "Louis, please, the chair's moving up and down by itself." And I was like, "Oh, just I was just like, oh, will you just stop? Like, I looked at my phone. I was like, it's like 3 in the morning. What's wrong with you? Like, go back to bed, man. He was like, please, the chair's moved down. I was like, oh, mate, go and get back in your bed. There's not space in here for you as well. He was like, no, please. And I was like, all right, whatever. I looked at the door, nothing was happening. So I put him on this mattress on the floor because there weren't space in the bed as well. It would have been dangerous.
Well, while leaving your son back in that room on his own.
No. My son come and got in bed with me.
Uh-huh.
It couldn't fit like all of us.
Yeah.
Because it would have been well dangerous because it's overheating and obviously sleep at that many people, like you roll over or anything. So wakes up again, starts pushing me. It's only been 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
So he's pushing me. He was like, "It's happening again. It's happening again." And I was like,
What are you talking about?
I was like, "Kai, there's nothing happening, mate." I looked out the door, and there was the chair making its way back up the stairs. And I was like, oh my god, like what is going on? I was like, none of this stuff has happened for a long time. So I went out there. Well, fucking, you know me, I'm trying to lie.
Yeah.
You know I wouldn't go outside for that stuff. I turned the light on, then went out there,
Yeah.
and it stopped halfway.
Right. Okay, I'm with you.
And then I heard like running around downstairs. And then I was like, okay, this is just weird. So, and I'd never sleep with the door shut if like my son was there, so it was still open.
Yeah, so you can wander in if you wanted to.
Yeah, so I closed it, like actually on the latch, like proper shut it. So you know, like when the latch clicks into place, so it's like shut, you'd have to do the handle.
Yeah.
And laying there, can hear the chair making its way back. Oh, what's that?
What?
That green glow.
Green glow.
Right there on the curtain.
Brother, I can't see no green glow.
What, right there.
No.
That's a bit glitter.
You fucking Riri.
But yeah, so laying there, still light on, because obviously my brother's a bit scared still.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting trying to comfort him. Hear the chair making its way fully up the stairs, hear it lock into place. And the door starts going, like the handle's like shaking.
Yeah.
And we could get my brother on the phone to like back this story up because he still remembers it to this day.
Well,
And I was like, oh my god, like what the fuck is actually happening? So I ran out. This time I did get up. So I was like, okay, this is my brother, this is my son. Like, if someone's there, I've got to protect them.
yeah, too right.
So I ripped open the door
Yeah.
and just heard like running down the stairs. And I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, that's a bit weird.
It was just strange, bro, because nothing like that had happened for like a long time.
Yeah, but I swear your son also had a friend there.
Yeah, I was sorry about to get into
Keenan or something, wasn't it?
Tilly.
Tilly.
I remember waking up one morning.
Do you reckon he remembers Tilly?
I wouldn't even want to bring it up to him.
Why not?
I don't think it'd be very fair.
Or wait till he's an adult. And be like, remember
Yeah,
your friend Tilly? And he'd be like, oh, I remember Tilly.
But okay, we'll come back to this story about his friend Tilly. But that goes into the theory I told you the other day, didn't it?
Yeah.
What if when we die, we become someone's imaginary friend? What if that was my granddad?
What is it?
And my son had named that for imaginary friend Tilly. Okay, let's go back to the Tilly story anyway.
That
So
would be
I
weird though.
I just remember, like my son, like when we was there, he felt at ease, comfortable. So if I was, like, I'd be asleep, but he'd wake up,
Yeah.
and he wouldn't always wake me up. He'd like go into the toilet, go for his wee. I don't know.
Yeah, the morning routine.
And I just remember one morning, slowly opening my eyes, and he went there next to me in the bed. I was like, where is he? Like, so I'm shouting him.
Yeah.
He's not in the toilet.
Where is he?
Downstairs. I was like,
What, in the
"You're
front?
downstairs by yourself?" He's like, I'm not by myself. I was
Ooh.
like, what do you mean? He was like, I'm playing hide and seek with Tilly.
Oh.
And I was like,
Who the fuck's
I was
Tilly?
like, who's Tilly? So I'm looking for my nan's dog.
Oh, yeah. I remember you
I'm
done.
thinking, oh, maybe he means Emily.
Yeah.
Emily's upstairs still asleep on my bed.
Yeah, that's
So
weird.
So I've shouted Emily. Well, obviously, even though you met Emily, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Even though she was a little dog, you still feel good having like something by your side.
Yeah, it's proper lapdog, wasn't it?
Like, it's like she'd go with you anywhere you wanted. So I called Emily down with me. I've gone and checked, and you remember like my nan's porchway? Like that was terrifying.
Oh, nah.
Like, that was a creepy way to get into the house, was it not? Like,
Yeah, I
especially
never-
at night time to like go through that darkness to turn left
Yeah, I
for a tiny
suppose.
little thing to go left and run up them stairs quick time.
A little bit. That's because
So-
most time it was high.
Like, I took Emily out on that bit with me, whatnot, and I come back in and I'm like, Caden, where are you now? I'm upstairs playing with Tilly. I was like, nah, this is getting weird. So he runs up to my nan's door, and you know my nan's door is always locked.
Yeah, always.
Always locked. So I was like, what's up, mate? Like, you know Nanny's door's locked because she's not here, she's in London. He went, well, Tilly's gone in there.
Eee.
So I was like, I said, what are you doing? I said, are you actually trying to like play jokes with Daddy now? Because he'd never call me Dad, he'd always call me Daddy. I was like, are you like playing jokes with Daddy now? He was like, no, Daddy, Tilly's in there. And I could hear stuff behind the door. And I was like, what is going on? So I'm like panicking, mate. Like, I'm thinking that, oh my God, there's someone in this house with me and my son. I
Yeah.
wouldn't care if it was just me. I'd call my mum up. And
Fuck.
I'd be like, Mum, like, can you come here? But because my son's there, I'm like, all right, there's someone in this house. So I grabbed the baseball bat because I knew where there was one always kept. And my nan's door was unlocked, and it was never unlocked. She'd always locked that before she went.
Yeah, but unless you forgot though one day.
No. That was one door.
Yeah, but some people are not perfect though.
That's one door. And so I've opened it,
Yeah.
and I was like, so Caden, show me, who's Tilly? Show me. And he's walking out, and I remember, I sent you the video, didn't I?
Yeah, I
was
remember.
Like, bruv, like, please help me, what is going on? And he's looking under the bed going, Tilly, come on, where are you? And it creeped me out for the rest of the day, mate. But it also goes back to another time I had him. Like, I think his mum had gone on like, up to her mum's for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So he was going between me and my mum and dad. And I remember he'd always be fun. And one night, mate, it was like he was possessed.
What fun.
Like, he was like curling back all of my arms, screaming, would not settle for shit. And he never had problems in that house. He'd always happily sleep in his own room, watch his program. And I remember to this day his favourite program was a program called Dino Trucks.
Oh yeah.
And I'd set that up for him at night time, give him his bottle of juice, and he'd lay down and just relax. And he'd even go in that room by himself. He'd be like, come on, Daddy, I'm tired now. I want to go relax. And I'd be like, okay, do you want me to lay with you? He'd be like, no.
I got Tilly.
If he'd said that, mate, I would have been gone. This night, I said, oh, why don't you come sleep with me? Because it was just going to be me and him.
Yeah.
So I was like, why don't you just come sleep with me tonight? Like, we can sit up, watch a movie and that.
Moving.
So he was like, okay, Daddy. And he's sleeping. And I think I played a little bit of FIFA with you. And then I said, oh, all right, do you know what? I'm going to get off now. So I'm laying there watching telly. And all of a sudden, he sits up. And it's not like he thinks a second. Like, he sat up screaming in terror. And like, I was holding him, rocking him. And he's like arching his back. Everything going like that. With his head, screaming, roaring. And I had to call my mum to come get him. I was like, Mum, Dad, you're going to have to come and get him. Like, I don't know what's wrong.
And did they?
Yeah, they did. They had to.
What did your mum and dad say?
I was like, Mum, I don't know what's actually on. Like, can you hear this? And they was like,
What did they say?
What's happening? I was like, they come and picked him up. And I was like, Mum, I'm sorry. I know like it's your night off, but I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, but what happened from the moment your mum came to the house?
He stopped.
He stopped.
He stopped.
What the fuck?
Everything stopped.
And what about when he got back to your mum and dad's?
Slept like a baby.
That's weird.
Slept like a baby. Got strange things happened to me in that house. Well, I remember the first ever time I had to stay there by myself. And it was terrifying, mate.
Surprised you slept.
I barely did. Like, I closed my door and I shoved something in front of it. Like,
That won't stop them, though.
I shoved something in front
They'll
of
come
it.
through that easily.
I shoved something in front of it, so if someone did try to come in, it was just fucked up, but like, weird things happen to me in the house. But I remember being there with my uncle before. This is a funny story, actually.
We're hitting almost 11 o'clock.
Late night show.
The late night show.
But I remember having a few drinks with my uncle before.
Yeah.
And God, like, like, all right, do you know what? It's bedtime now. It's like 3 in the morning. Like, and we only plan to have a drink till like 10. So we're having a few drinks.
Yeah, but it never goes to plan, though, does
I
it,
looked
when
at
you're
the time, I was
drinking?
like, oh, fucking hell. I was like, it's like 3 a.m. He was like, what? I've got work in the morning. I was like,
All nighter.
that's what I said. And he was like, no, I can't. So I was like, all right, bedtime. So we get up the stairs. I go in my room. He goes
Fucking cats.
He goes in his room. I go roll my joint. Smoking out my bedroom window. I hear a knock on my door. So I'm thinking, oh, he's going to want to come have a few loves on my joint. I was like, all right, come in.
Oh, who was it?
It's my uncle.
Oh.
And he goes, come here. I was like, oh, I thought you was calling me for like this. He was like, no, come here, come listen to this. So we stood there at the top of the stairs. And he like rustling about and moving about downstairs. It was only me and him in the house.
Well, not even your girlfriend?
Nah.
No?
It was only me and him in the house.
Well,
And standing at the top of the stairs and I'm looking at him. That was a bottom bar.
proper.
And he's looking at me going, I don't know. I was like, right, grab the baseball bat. And all of a sudden we heard, no, it's only me, it's Raymond.
Oh, yeah, I remember
I
this
was like-
story.
We looked at each other, it was like, who? Like, we couldn't work it out from it. It was like, who? Come downstairs. I mean, Uncle Raymond's down there. We're like, what are you doing at 3 in the morning? He's like, well, your nan's up at Angie's in London and she asked me if I'd come put this chicken in the freezer. It was like, at 3 in the morning. It was like, you're lucky you didn't just get a baseball bat around the canister.
Fuck off, you guys were shitting
Mate,
yourselves.
we went rushing down them stairs. It was like, no, it's only me, it's Raymond. Pure terror on his face. It was like, Raymond, what are you doing?
That is a bit weird, though. Why 3 o'clock in the morning all the
What are you
time?
doing? Well, your nan sent us back with this chicken. And asked us if we put it in the freezer. It was like, I couldn't wait till the morning. It was like, oh no, it's going to defrost. It was like, but it's 3 a.m.
Yeah, put it in your freezer, Raymond.
Yeah. 3 a.m, mate, and there's some the Uncle Raymond shoving,
I would love that.
shoving the chicken in the freezer. Mate, we were like, do you want to go back to shall I tell you a couple more spooky ones?
I don't know.
So,
I sort of like it when Mark's in there to fact checked.
well, my dad hasn't been there these times.
Oh yeah, I suppose. But honestly, he must have known other weird stories, because I know your mum hasn't stepped foot in that house in years, isn't it? I remember one time when we didn't have no money when I was living there, and you asked her for some batteries, and she came over to drop off a fuckload of batteries, but she wouldn't step foot over the threshold.
No, she like hands on that door, isn't she?
Yeah.
She like, love you. But
Which is fair enough.
But yeah, there's been another time. So again, it was just me and I think it was Archie.
Archie? Oh, Archie cracks me up.
No, was it me and Arch? Was it me and Arch? It might have been me and Arch. Definitely me and somebody.
Oh, you had a cousin live with you at some point. Kane, wasn't it?
It wasn't when Kane was with me, no. There's spooky stories from with Kane as well. me and him, grown ass men, have run into my nan and jumped in bed with her and we're like, Nan, we're sleeping with you.
Yeah, but that never. Oh, but how?
I'll get to it.
Nah.
I'll get to it.
I feel like I'm nodding off now because I feel like I'm getting stories read to me.
But, so,
Like, I feel like I should be getting comfy in bed listening to some of these.
I'm here with this person. And my nan
Yeah.
rolled my joint. I was like, right. But before I go downstairs, he's like running about.
Yeah.
So I stopped on the stairs, went back up. I was like, bro, are you
What the
coming?
fuck?
You coming? Because this is weird. Like, come see if you can hear this. So we both stood upstairs and we could both hear it.
Yeah.
So taking an edge down the stairs, and all we've seen is like this black shadow go across like the hallway,
Oh, shit, that could be like your granddad.
and the front door like open and slam shut.
Yeah.
So we both looked at each other like, what the fuck? I think someone was just in my house. Opened the door, looked outside, and there was no one there. But it was like this black shadow, like literally just went, and the front door just opened and slammed. You remember my nan's doorbell?
Yeah, that was hardly ever open.
That front door
Yeah.
opened and slammed. But even if my nan went there, we'd use the side door, would we not?
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one.
That was.
That was a weird one.
I remember me and Kane. it was like the second day I'd moved in there.
Second day.
Ow, Lilo. Hey.
Parzival's currently getting attacked by my kitten. Can't handle it. I just like to point out October is a Black Cat Appreciation Month.
It's also Black History Month.
Is that actually?
Yeah.
I feel that should be an insult.
No, October Black History Month because I think isn't October when Rosa Parks,
I don't know. I'm not.
or was it MLK?
What do you mean? What, his movement, or when did he get assassinated or something?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh no, MLK. That's Martin Luther King. Yeah, he did get assassinated. What am I on about? No, I'm thinking of Malcolm X for some reason. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, but yeah, it was like the second day I lived with Kane.
Right. Yeah, that's when you guys had a bunk bed.
It was like a double bed at the bottom and a single at top. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had the double at the bottom and I had the single at top. And I didn't have work the next day, so we sat up all night watching all the Conjurings and Paranormal Activities.
Oh yeah, that's sick.
And like 3 a.m. came. And I was like, Kane, like, it's 3 o'clock. He was like, yeah, but we ain't got work. And I was like, yeah, I know, but then we're going to be knackered tomorrow. It's supposed to be a hot day, and we're just
Sleeping
going
it.
to go out. He was like, yeah, fair enough. So we've turned the telly off, and that, you know, that room that gets
Oh
pitch
yeah,
black.
yeah. Proper.
My nan had them proper fucking like curtains like yours, but like thick.
Like 4 poster.
Yeah, and we hear loads of like banging around, so we're thinking, oh, it's Nan. Got to be Nan in her room doing something. So I've opened the door and I've gone, Nan, you alright? She was like, yeah, I'm just in bed, love. I was like, what, you're not moving about? You're not downstairs? She's like, no, why? I was like, Kane. I went in there, he was like, what? I was like, oh, that banging. He went, yeah. I went, it weren't Nan. He was like, what do you mean? I went, it weren't Nan. Nan's in bed watching a film. So we literally both come out of that room and was like, Nan, we're getting to go with you.
Yeah, but how do you know you weren't your nan at some point?
Because I literally, as soon as I heard it, I went open our bedroom door and was like, Nan. And it weren't.
Yeah, but I feel like all this could be proven if we did a Ouija board there. But you always downright refused.
No, I think it's disrespectful to my granddad and my nan's house.
Why? I thought you got like follow like certain procedures, innit? Like using some like
Yeah,
a ring of salt and always saying goodbye or
yeah,
whatever.
I know, but I still think
How's it an insult? How do you know he's not waiting for that time for when that connection between the two realms?
I just
He's been waiting for that
I
connection.
just think it's disrespectful to do it at my nan's house. I mean, like I said before, I wouldn't mind doing one with you somewhere, but I think it's disrespectful.
Yeah, but would you not like to talk to your granddad
Of course I would. I'd love to.
without him trying to use all of his energy that he's able to conjure through the years as a like
Oh,
ex?
Christ.
You know what I mean? And he can actually do it to you freely.
Hey, please.
You know what I mean? What about if he's been waiting for that time, bruv? It's not like a Ouija
No.
board.
Hello.
It's going to cause him pain, is it? She sort of... Yeah, she's sulking though. Fuck her.
But yeah, Barbie's been there for a time with me. You know
Yeah.
Auntie Barbie, didn't you?
Yeah.
And she'll clarify this.
Oh, yeah.
We were sat there before, and this picture frame just literally like flew across the room.
Yeah, that's weird. That freaked me out.
Like
Freaked me out, that would.
it like flew across the room and like split open. It was like one of them ones, you know, where you've got people design it. They put like all them plastic diamonds in the bottom.
Like bedazzled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just split open and they went everywhere.
Ugh.
Picked it up, sorted it out. Barbie
Yeah.
went. It's just me there, me and Caden, and it happened again. So I called my mum. I was like, Mum, please, I know you don't like coming up here,
Yeah.
but please, will you come in here and like try see if anything happens? Because this is scaring me now.
Yeah, but this just makes me want to get your mum and dad on this. Because obviously
you know my dad fully would. But
Yeah.
I don't know if my mum would talk on here.
No, I don't blame my dad. That just makes me want to go round to your mum and dad's, and spend an afternoon in their kitchen. Listen to some of these stories.
I don't think I'd have a problem.
No,
We can arrange that.
I'm down for that. Yeah, but I feel like sometimes it's forced, isn't it? Sometimes you can't just force things out of people.
No, if we had planned it, it's not forced, is it? If it's planned.
It's like at that time when I was around when me and your mum and dad would open up bare shit, you were just fucking distracting us, bro.
I'm not like that anymore, am I? Because now I'm on with it.
But how do we know we're not? Let's go and do it again.
Because I'm on with it all now. I'm not.
You're one with it all.
Yeah.
I'm one with the force and the force with me. I'm one with the force and the force with me.
Nah, none of that.
Nah.
None of that.
You be like going back there, do you?
I don't really like South Foxy.
It's a shit.
No, it's not even just that. It's just
It's people.
so. I don't know. I set foot in South Foxy and I just feel so dirty.
Yeah, but I feel like that in most areas in Britain.
Like, I know that's where I'm from. Like, and don't get me wrong, I love all my family from there. My sister, if she's still listening.
No, we've had no one listening for like 40 minutes. We're with Billy No Mates.
Bully.
And then again, though, it is 11:05. So unless we have some Yanks listening to us, bro.
Listen to it right now.
Go on, how are you going to do
I'll
that?
do it right now. You ready?
If anything, I think we should quit, though, right now. This is 2 hours, 40 minutes into it. And I've run out of whiskey.
So, don't need alcohol to have a good time.
No, but when you've been drinking whiskey for the last 2 hours and 40 minutes, you want it to carry on. And with our shitty laws over here, you can't buy no alcohol right now. Shit. Oh, well, oh, who's that? Huh?
Where do you think our views from around the globe will come from?
Well, you been talking to?
People who I third eye are open as much as mine, from Japan, China.
From Japan. I really want to go to Korea. And I've always said to Emma, because she wants to go to Japan as much as I want to go to Korea, if I ever do go to Korea, at the same time, I want to take like a month off to go and do most of these countries.
Like a gap year.
Well, yeah, you want to go on a gap year? No, I mean like a month. A month is a good old time. You don't need a whole year. I'll get pissed off, bro. A year away from my home, from my bed. My bed, mate, yeah, is probably the most expensive possession I have. That's good money I spent on that bed. I ain't fucking spending a year away from that. No, sir. A year. Fuck off.
Just possessions, man.
I don't give a fuck, bro. I
They mean nothing.
don't give a fuck. I struggle sleeping as it is, and that thing helps.
Yeah, they mean nothing. Possessions mean nothing.
I don't give a fuck, bro. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. That's one of the best gifts my parents
I
gave me.
do think, though,
Yeah.
we should.
What, go on the gap year?
No, go on a gap year.
I want to go on the gap year.
Spring break, y'all.
Oh, yeah. Daddy pays for it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I do think, though, that we should start broadening our channel's horizons.
How so?
Like, do these things my dad's done. I know you
Happily,
say
bro.
driving. We could. I know. Fucking. I hate going on transport all the time. But
Are you gaslighting me? Because just because you feel like you like it, but I fucking hate it.
like I just said, I don't like doing it. But I would to learn these things.
Nah, bro. There's only one place I truly love getting on transport, and that's the fucking Leicester Square. Fucking literally love it. Everywhere else is just a fucking drag. Why am I wasting my time sat with these fucking nobodies?
Is it a
All
drag
glued
to
to their
go and
fucking
learn
phone.
things? Is it a drag in the long scheme of things?
You tell me that when you transport to college, when you was younger, did you truly learn everything every day? No.
I think I'll just give you a heart attack for that far. But,
Bless her.
I'd like for us to travel to these places.
I want a car, bro.
Like chilling and bro.
Definitely need a car. How long is that on a train or coach?
Bro,
If it's like 6 hours in a car,
I'm not even lying to you, yeah?
I swear you told me it's like 40 minutes from the castle to like even like a shop.
Nah,
'Cause it
I'd
is
say
in a
like 20
bumper.
minutes, half hour.
What, in a car or walking?
You could probably walk in half hour to like the closest like supermarket.
Walking there. Okay.
And then you could like walk to it, get your shopping, get a taxi back to the castle.
Okay, yeah, that's not too bad.
But I've heard now, yeah,
Yeah.
which has kind of ruined it for me. Because when I was younger, I used to hate it because you get no phone signal. They've now got Wi-Fi in there.
Oh, yeah, you sort of want to be cut off from reality, innit? I feel that.
Up there is the sort of place you need to be because
Yeah, because if you look at your phone and know there's no connection, you won't keep looking at it. Yeah, I see that where you're coming from.
But when I was younger, you said, I'd be like, oh, really? I'm not going to be able to talk to anyone for fucking 7 days. But I remember going up there for Christmas one time, and I was the only.
Just because you're a teenager.
I was the only person it happened to. My mum and dad was still like, that's very weird. We all stood outside the front of the castle, like about to go on a walk.
Yeah.
I looked at my phone and I had full signal.
What, only you?
Only me.
And I would assume you were all on the same fucking network.
Oh, sorry, there used to be a place you could get signal, but it was only at midnight. So it was like, you know, when you're a survivor on a Lost Island, it's like,
Yeah.
satellite's passing over at this time, so I need to be here at this time. The satellite, it actually was like that. The satellite would pass over at midnight or something. You could stand at the top of this Devil's Causeway,
Yeah.
and you'd get like 3 bars of signal for like half an hour. So you can
Wait,
make-
why was it called the Devil's Causeway?
Yeah, there's a story behind that.
Okay, all right, brother. Okay, I'll make a promise with you, and if we ever do have any vans, I would happily vlog us going to Gillingham one time. Like everything. I mean, we go for like a 24-hour live stream, bruv.
I believe if you go with me, the same things are going to happen.
How do you know something even weirder happens with me? Because I'm the third Antichrist, don't forget.
The same thing's going to happen. That happened to my parents' footage.
What do you mean? How are we going live though? The ability to go live back when your parents got married weren't there.
I don't think we'll be able to go live in there. Last time I went, Kai said the Wi-Fi's not that good.
Well, we'll fucking save some money, bruh. Make sure we get the best broadband dongle going. If I have to get some person to set up a hill who relays our fucking live feed, I'll do it.
Just start that place is just, I want to say scary.
And I want to go up there when there's only me and you in that castle. Only me and you. I don't mean our partners going with us, so they're going on.
It will never be that.
Well, I want that to
So
happen.
many people go there.
Well, let's buy out the fucking thing one time.
Just for me and you to rent an apartment for like 4 or 5 days, which it's a waste if we don't go out there for like 4 or 5 days, a minimum.
Yeah, I feel that.
It's like £600-700
Yeah.
for an apartment
Yeah.
within the castle.
But I can only truly accept nothing weird happening if I know me and you, the only souls around for like a 2-mile radius.
But
How do I know the groundkeeper's fucking with us?
here's another weird one.
Yeah.
My mum, I think it was my mum came out of her room before, come out of the apartment before, and like saw my dad standing down the hallway.
Yeah. Does your dad remember this?
But then like like a minute later, my dad was behind her,
Ooh.
coming out of the room.
Ooh. Yeah. I want to see that.
Like the hallways are weird though. Like they've still got like the original.
but what are you gonna do
cribs there, bro.
But what are you going to do if we go there and nothing happens?
I don't want to say nothing happens like in the sense of terrifying, scary. You know, like where things move and
Yeah,
shit like that.
I mean,
Like, it's the
anything.
things you see, like
Like,
nothing. There's actually one room that's out of bounds for guests to stay in.
Oh, okay.
It's called the Grey Room.
Why?
And how funny is that? The Grey.
Is it actually called a grey? I suppose, yeah, we
It's
can't
called the
mean.
Grey Room, and it's out of bounds to guests because there's a little boy in there, the spirit called the Blue Boy.
Why is it called grey then?
No, it's called the Grey Room.
Yeah.
But how strange that it's called the Grey Room. My dad sat there and explained all that stuff to you today.
That is a little bit weird.
Like the castle's owned by the Greys. Their wedding was run by the Greys. And then
Well, that sounds like your family is a proxy to the Greys.
in this sense, you have to explain to me what a proxy means.
Like they're using you, bruv. They've been using you and your family.
And what did my dad say in the comments? They used us.
For what? What? As in,
I don't know.
this is what humans do for their weddings.
I don't know.
Like they're like their version of the National Geographic, or when we see like.
Does it make you look at me any weirder that my dad said these things?
No,
Like,
not
the Greys
really.
are surrounding our family.
Not really. It just makes me make me encourage you guys to encourage them to fucking expose themselves more.
But yeah,
Because it's too long we've lived in these
But
little
there's-
shadows where the government tells us what to do.
There's cheaper rooms actually we can rent, but they're not in the castle. They're like further
Like the
down
stables, furbished stables or some shit.
You really baffle me sometimes
Why?
because that's exactly.
That's a cliche. That's the same as like Warwick
No,
Castle.
it's the servants' quarters.
Okay.
They're called the coaching rooms.
Yeah. Where the peasants live.
But it's that I think that's their rooms. Are
But that makes me want to go with your parents.
I
Because it
think
feels like they're like a.
magnet,
Yeah. I suppose. Magnet.
like a supernatural magnet.
Yeah.
But yeah, these coaching rooms.
But then I feel bad if nothing happens when I'm there. Because I feel like I'll be the negative
No,
force.
but I think this is the mistake I made when I went before, like when I started going regularly. You'd go looking for something to happen, and that's when it wouldn't happen. But it's when you weren't expecting it.
Yeah, but that's the problem. I'll be looking for it. I'll be. You know me. I've always encouraged it whenever weird shit
Right,
happens.
I'll tell you a scary story.
I've always embraced any weird thing that happened to me, bro. I'll be I'll fall on the face. I'll be like, come on then. Nothing.
Like, the coaching rooms I find, don't get me wrong, the castle's fucking like a force to be beckoned with. When you look at it, it's like, rah.
Yeah, but I feel like this.
But
The only time I feel anything weird in Gillingham is when I'm on my own and sleep, and I wake up in the middle of the night and something weird happened, and I try and explain it to you guys afterwards, and you might believe me or not.
I'm not trying to sound gay now, but Oh, if I were just me and you, we ain't no sleeping in separate rooms. We're going in one
Oh,
room and
fuck.
separate
No,
beds,
bruv. Honestly, I'll secretly have a Ouija board, bruv, and I'll play it by myself.
But
That's how you truly know if anything weird is
let me
happening.
think- But so I find the coaching rooms more scary
Why?
because they're so far down from the castle.
Oh,
But,
you're in the grounds, isn't it?
but to get to the castle, yeah,
You got to walk up a long road.
you got to go through this little wooded area
Yeah. Not even a path.
and then find a path that you walk up.
Yeah.
And at night time, bub,
It's pitch black.
that is fucking. And I have not said this word in years. Is spooky.
What's the stars above you like?
Oh, mate,
Because I'll just go for that, bro.
Bub, everything up there is completely fucking different. Like you sit in the courtyard late at night and knowing you're like the only person or only couple of people out there, and it's like, wow.
Oh, let's go then. I want to go.
Look, you're like, but my mum and dad have like seen stones thrown at them and everything from that, like sitting in that courtyard.
Yeah, but okay, let's go then. Let's stop talking about it. I want to go.
We don't
You've
say
enticed
story,
me
but
to go
when
there
I
for years ago.
I stayed in those coaching rooms before at Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, we went up there for Christmas.
What, Christmas Day?
Yeah, we was up there for like the whole Christmas period.
What the fuck?
And like loads of my family went. So some people stayed in the castle, some people stayed in the coaching rooms.
Yeah.
And I was the one staying in the coaching room. So me and I think it was my sister Megan, maybe,
Yeah.
and Kelsey, and a couple of others. We stayed down in the coaching rooms. And one night we were coming out to walk up to the castle.
Yeah.
Well, and there was just this green eyes glow like in the front of us, like and big teeth baring. It was like there was a giant dog there.
Yeah.
But then when we like shone the light, nothing now.
Yeah. Okay, I want to see this. Let's stop talking about it. Just make, like I said, envious. I want to witness this.
All right, well, when we end this, I'll show you some stories.
Well, I think we should end it soon, bro. We're almost coming to the 3-hour mark, and I'm thirsty, and I've run out of whiskey.
How long till the 3 hour mark?
10 minutes or 11 minutes.
11
To be
minutes
precise.
to go then.
No, we should end it now, man.
Right,
'Cause-
well, that's the first of our live show. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And we'll be uploading a new episode of our Book of Nonsense tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Good night, all.
Have a good one.